faster drive speed that's available. So we're gonna go with the Inland QN450 1TB SSD. It's a 3D QLC NAND PCIe Gen 4x4. It's a 2280, which is a standard length drive, $65.99. We could have saved money and gone all like down to $59.99 right here, but as you can see, that's a Gen 3. So I understand that this is a QLC. Some people may or may not like that. That's just what we're going with. The nice thing is you can always upgrade your drive later if you want. Okay, we need a case. So this is one of those sort by lowest price first. Actually, this whole build has been this way. But sort by lowest price first. The Thermaltake V100 ATX, I don't believe comes with any fans. That was my biggest problem with it. It's a pretty standard case, no side panel or anything, but for $44.99, I feel like going with the $5 more expensive Inland X1, which comes with 4 fans pre-installed. Yes, they're RGB puke, but there's 4 fans in there. So, and we know it'll fit all of our parts in there, and it fits a full ATX board, so we're not stuck on go like micro ATX or anything like that. So we're gonna go with that. Not just because it's an MSI, and it's not because it's a Micro Center sponsored video, it's literally because it's the first case that seems like has a value at 49 bucks with the extra fans that we're gonna need. And that brings our total currently to $375.95, which is like the price we saw on Amazon over here for just a motherboard and CPU for the same thing from Micro Center, nonetheless. So you can see why this is an insane deal, because this includes a case and storage and RAM and motherboard and CPU, and we're at $375. I'm not leaving the builder. You're leaving the builder. You're drunk. Okay, so we need a power supply. There's a PowerSpec 500 watt. I'd like to build in a little bit of headroom to grow with the system in the
Testing
future.
1, 2, 3.
You can't do on PlayStation. You can't upgrade components or parts later. So I don't want us to be shoehorned into a
Sounds not too bad. Let me turn down the thing.
Is going to be the much better option for us here. So for $49.99, we have a PowerSpec 650 watt 80 plus bronze. I know PowerSpec again is the in-house brand for Micro Center. I'm comfortable with that because if you bought it at a Micro Center, hopefully that means you live close enough to one.
Alrighty then.
You can bring it back to Micro Center because Micro Center will directly warranty this stuff in-house because it's their stuff. So
the wheat, the blow, the yak, the herb, the weed, the blow, the yak, the herb, the. Actually, I do need to hear. Which way do you wear these ones?
Heatsink. We got to cool our CPU. 12600KF does not come with a box cooler, which would have been nice to have to save the 20 bucks.
Which,
but I'm gonna tell you right
which
now,
one is less stuff?
20 bucks is definitely 20 bucks in this build. So we're gonna go with the the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Spectrum.
How is? I think it's this side.
That's our car, and we're at $445.95. So that essentially leaves us $255 for a GPU. You can see the problem now, right? Because a 60 CU GPU puts it at approximately an RX 6800. Now there's some other stuff I want to address real quick. A 60 CU GPU from AMD puts it at about a 6800. The amount of nonsense I'm hearing about the Pro is going to be able to do 8K 60, which even a 4090 can't do. Which you're right, a 4090 cannot comfortably do 8K 60 even with upscaling. Neither can the 7900 XTX, which is a 96 CU. So stop it. Stop making yourself look stupid, please. Every time you vomit that nonsense, you make yourself look like a complete moron. If an AMD 96 CU GPU can't do 8K 60, what makes you think their 60 CU one can? I'll tell you, upscaling. By the way, push 1 in comments if you actually have an 8K TV, because that means you'd then be playing on your TV, which no PC gamer should really be doing, even if it is like an LG OLED.
Did you get them on the back? You got them on the back. The backhand slap. That's crazy.
You're not going to be building this. You're going to be building a very high-end PC, okay? Assuming making an ass out of me and me, okay, at this point. I'm going to get back on topic here. I'm going to move on to the GPU now. We're left with $255, and I know what GPU I'm going to go with because we already did some research on this. If we go to Tech Power Up, RX 6800, so you can see right here it has 60 CUs, okay? So 6800 has 60 CUs, and we can use that as our comparison target. So now if we look at the relative performance, there's our highlighted performance right there. We can find the stuff that's near it. So a 7700 XT is 98% of the relative performance of the 6800. A 4070 is 111%.
Did he just jump down here? I don't. I forgot about that monkey. I don't. Because I was going down here anyway. So is this that monkey that was up there? Because there were 3 of them.
XT at 85% of it, and a 3060 Ti at 77% of it.
I think this is the same monkey that was up there.
XT in here.
The entire time I've been playing that.
At $765.94. Now we're gonna have a little bit of an asterisk on this. Let me tell you what. I'm not using this card. The PS5 Pro does not include a stand. This thing is standing on right now, not included. It's $30 if you want one. Sony also charges $80 if you want the Blu-ray player, the Blu-ray drive. We're not putting a Blu-ray player or a drive in this PC, so we're not using the $80 to compare. But our PC comes with its own stand. It's called a case. And all 4 feet are included. They're not extra cost. They're not pulling an Apple model where we have to charge more for it. Or if you want the casters for the Pro, it's like $500 for the
Who stands theirs up?
Like that. So
even I don't do that anymore.
$30.
Also, where am I headed? I'm not going the right direction. This is annoying to get this one. But I'm gonna need it later.
The 6750 XT would kind of have been the more comparable card to use, because obviously a 6800, where's my card? A 6800 is not doable. It is just far too expensive.
Right.
So if I go ahead and search for 6800 XT right now, or excuse me, 6800 non-XT, if I select that one, then we're gonna be near $800. And the other thing we don't have in this cart either, $805. We also don't have an operating system in here. The Sony comes with one, but it's not, it's nothing but like, it's like if Steam Big Picture came on a PC and that's all you got, right? So the operating system is going to be something that's kind of on you. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to remove the 6800 Speedster, which at that point would have made this a... So I think what you can see right now, with the exception of
where do I go to start?
We can build a PlayStation 5 Pro for $100 more than the cost of it. But
I start there.
I don't want to have that asterisk saying we went $100 over it. They do have a card that I think will work just fine for this. That is the 3060 Ti at $249. It's a Founders Edition card. I think I would rather have NVIDIA's DLSS upscaler, which is superior to XR, in this build. And I think then we would get realistic, playable 100-ish FPS in many titles with DLSS set to like quality or balanced, with a 3060 Ti in 1440p, not 4K. Because even the PlayStation 5, when you do 4K, goes down to like 30 FPS on many of these games. I have a feeling with the 6800 CU card in the PlayStation 5 Pro, you're probably going to get a lot of titles that are also still 4K 30, maybe some that are 4K 60, depending on how hard that engine is to run. So now we're at
that wasn't that bad that time. I don't know why.
And 94 cents. So we're $5 under. That 35 extra bucks we have now, go to some CD key site and get your Windows key if you want to argue at me that I didn't include an OS, okay? Or just go pirate it. I don't care. It's not my job to determine whether or not you're getting it from a legal source. It's up to you to determine whether or not you're putting your system at risk by buying pirated software or downloading it or whatever. That's on you. Hardware-wise, this is what we got. So let's go get it. And here it is. So every single part right there, $695. It was $749 after tax.
What kind of card was in this one?
Guess what? It'd be the same. Actually, it'd be $5 more for the PS5 Pro. Even though it's not a Pro, I'm pointing to it because it kind of looks the same. It has tax too. So both of them $700 before tax. It's the same after. Actually, it looks pretty good. I'm a little surprised at how good this turned out. Typically, when you try and do like this is a fairly budget build, even though it has a 12600 KF, a Z790 motherboard, a 3060 Ti.
Oh no, I got to do it again. I almost had them.
They just have individual LED colors in there that don't move. They're Molex. Didn't know that when I bought it, but whatever.
Close enough. I got them.
The Hyper 212. Forgot how.
I wish I would have got them.
Let's demonstrate that real quick. I got hardware monitor open right now, or HW info, excuse me. So you can see our P cores and E cores. So if we go ahead and I'm using the
pretty good.
That came with it. I didn't even use zip ties. I was that dedicated to the craft of sticking to the budget that all I used were the twist ties that came off all the power supply cables on the back to twist tie everything up. There's really not a lot of room for cable management, by the way. It's not the most premium feeling build. Like the case itself for 49 bucks or whatever it costs. It is made by Montech, by the way. So the Inland case, the X1, is a Montech case. It was a collaboration, obviously, between Inland and Montech. Anyway, enough chatting. Let's go ahead and take a look at our score and our temperature and Cinebench R23. And I'm looking for package temp right here. Here's package, 59, 60.
How did I dodge those the first time?
61, 62, 63. The max it spiked even for a moment was 70 or 68. So I have enough headroom if I wanted, even with the Hyper 212.
Oh, got him.
I could go into the BIOS and probably enable a sync all core or add some additional thermal velocity boost or something to it. That would allow it to go even higher, which you can't do with your PlayStation. You cannot overclock your PlayStation. A lot of people wouldn't do that anyway. I don't even think I enabled XMP on the RAM now that I think about it. I should probably go ahead and reboot and do that. This is literally from the first boot.
What just happened? That was weird. Did, did the card come?
And then we're going to turn on ray tracing and see if we go above 30. I'm going to speculate that with the newer hardware in the Pro,
I think I knocked the
1440p, 60 FPS
QSP hub loose.
That's probably the only major difference you're going to see in terms of like settings and FPS limiters. We have to speculate until we get our hands on one to really see what's happening there. With that said, let's launch it.
Let's launch over it.
So with all that said, let's talk about how they're getting the quote-unquote 4K resolutions in console. So we're at 1440p, no upscaling, I just mentioned that. In console, they're doing 1440p as a base res, FSR'd up to 1800p, and then a standard scale again to 4K. So your 4K game is 1800p. So it's not really 4K. And they're gonna be doing the same thing for quote-unquote 8K on the Pro. But look at the FPS, it is so consistent. 77, 78, 79, 75. It looks great too. Now let's go crash. Let's go ahead
I don't know why I wanted to go over there.
and see what happens if we go to, I'm just curious, what is the native 4K gaming is gonna be like? It's gonna be terrible. Like 3060 Ti is not intended for 4K gaming, but it's still, I think, higher than console will get you. 35 FPS. So let's now turn on resolution scaling, DLSS. We'll go to performance, 89 FPS in quote-unquote 4K DLSS performance. So it's really going to be like back down to like 1440p-ish. I don't remember the scaling numbers exactly, but look, we have 4K set with DLSS on, and we're getting more FPS than we were in 1440p native res. This is why DLSS is awesome. Now, FSR obviously does a similar thing, but we all know that DLSS is a bit more mature when it comes to the way that it's using its AI upscaler. And this, to me, still looks better right now than 1440p base res did because it's a 4K panel that we're on right now. Now, turning on ray tracing on console, the only thing you get is local shadows. So as you can see on PC, we get this ray trace reflections, we get sun shadows, we get ray trace lighting, we get path tracing. So anyway,
because it's the stupid one with the
turn on local shadows to kind of mimic console. 72.
Oh no, it's this one. Oh, I hate these guys.
Really good looking. It just looks better than it would have on console too, that's for sure. And let's not forget this is the same as that.
It's not fair that they have sensibility
I'm gonna go balance
frames.
real quick for this. Very little effect in terms of hitting FPS.
I don't have the patience
to. A little bit more sharpness even, because performance is a lower base res that we upscale up to. So we just upped it 1 notch on the base resolution. So we're already over 60 FPS target here in 4K. Ray tracing on. Let's go ahead and turn on all the rays. How about ray trace reflections? Sure. That's where you take the big hit, is reflections. And that's why you don't get it on console.
Why did you turn my camera back around?
So
stop turning my camera around.
Goodness. Okay, I think it's safe to say, for the same cost of a PlayStation Pro, we can build a PC that will absolutely destroy a PlayStation, but PlayStation's $500. It's $200 cheaper than this. We will circle back with this same build. I will keep it together. I will not touch it. We will see, once we get a PlayStation Pro in hand, how they're after me. It's the cops. It's the Sony police. It's the cops! So, like I said, we will circle back with the PlayStation 5 Pro, and once Digital Foundry kind of...
Look, I don't care if Rewind's coming. This is my 4th time playing through the same game. Even though 2 of them have been like this weird PSP remake type of thing. I don't know if you count it as a remake, because the textures are better. But it's a PSP. It literally has less controls.
As you can see, take it... Let's talk about... Let's just final thoughts here real quick. One, the major upsell to a computer, and the concept of a computer, is you can upgrade it. You can say, you know what? It's been a year now. I've got some extra cash I saved up. I can sell this 3060 Ti for a solid 200, 250 bucks, maybe 200 bucks by the time you do that, and get yourself like a 3080.
Oh.
Instant, like double of FPS.
I missed that one every other time. That's crazy.
You could put a different.
How many do I have again?
Showed, like, with this CPU, there's no reason to.
Oh, it only tells me that when I'm in the.
This exact setup is the DDR4, but as you can see, right
that's kind of stupid now that I think about it.
Game so much. If we were going like 3090, then yeah, we would want all of the CPU performance uplift that we could get. And DDR5 does help with max FPS if the engine is if the graphics card can push it to the engine limit. But upgradability. And it's a computer. You can do other things on it besides just play games. You can use it as a tool to maybe make money, learn, go to school, work, all sorts of stuff. It's not just a one-trick pony. I guess 1.5 tricks now. I mean, this one has the disc player, but I guess it could be a multimedia.
No, that was
player.
it. Okay.
You got 80 extra bucks if you want to play discs, but I guess we all stream now anyway. Who cares about discs? I haven't put a disc in a drive in I don't know how long. There you go. I would say I hope this settles some debate about whether or not you can build a PC for the price of a PlayStation 5 Pro that's worth it. But we all know this hasn't changed any of your minds at all. I know it. You know it. Micro Center knows it. So that's why we're all just going to stay on our side of the line that we've drawn in the sand, and we're going to marvel at the fact that I'm actually a little surprised at how well this $700 PC is actually performing. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll see you in the next one, even if we don't see you again until we're back with the actual PS5 Pro going head-to-head.
Wonder. Okay. It's like I can do it, but it's not. No, I can't do it. It's a little too high. So wasn't there another one down here somewhere? If I go, wasn't there one? Oh, but he's got a. I gotta be real careful. I think I'm a different level. Let's just restart. I thought I went further back. Oh, it's down there. Where you at? There we go. What's this for? Fourth time beating this game, right? You don't need to know all the secrets to get the platinum, but it'd be interesting to know what that was for. Cause gotta be something. Why would you just? I thought there was one.
It's been a while since I've platinumed a LEGO game, so I thought now would be a good time to return, but we're going big this time. I'm going to be getting the Platinum Trophy on every single LEGO DC game. I never played these before, and I know people really like these games, so I also decided to rank the games as well and see what I think. So without further ado, let's start with... Before we continue with this, some of you are probably thinking, hey, this game doesn't even have a trophy list. And you're right. It does have Xbox achievements, but I don't have an Xbox. So I simply decided to do the in-game 100% on PC. I didn't feel like it'd be fair to rank all of the games and then exclude this one just because I can't platinum it, so we're including it anyway. LEGO Batman 1 was released in 2008 before open worlds and voice acting, so it's a lot more simple than later games. By the way, if you haven't played any of these stories and don't want to be spoiled, I'll put spoiler warnings on screen because I will be talking about the stories. This story is just simply a bunch of villains escaping from Arkham Asylum, and Batman and Robin are trying to recapture them. It's very simple, but it doesn't need anything crazy, especially since it already doesn't have voice acting. There are 30 levels in total that are split into two parts. One part is the hero story, focusing on Batman and Robin fighting the villains, and the other part is the villain story, which all take place before the hero levels, and they set up what Batman and Robin are about to experience. I really like this idea. There are also 3 chapters in each part that focus on the Riddler, the Penguin, and the Joker, each of them having a crew to go along with them as well. I really enjoyed my time with the story. None of the levels were super annoying, and because there wasn't an actual narrative to keep up with, I can't complain about that either. The only mission I didn't like was the one where you fight the Penguin. I don't know if I was doing something wrong, but the fight just took way too long, and I didn't really enjoy it. Regardless, the experience was great. After I finished the story,
oh my god, get in the fucking...
was to replay it during free play. Free play allows you to use whatever character you
when you're
want,
this handicapped,
to areas that you can't reach
using rewind is not even it's not even cheating, because look at what the...
Superhero or villain,
how can I not get the angle right on that? That's crazy. That makes it even more amazing when I do get one in the net, because what the hell? Also, why am I going after... I don't have to do this on this level. I just gotta make it to that one room.
Collectible detectors, and other miscellaneous effects. The final collectible is Hostages in Peril,
right?
Pearl, like this dude said.
But I needed the 100 monkeys in the PS1 version.
Next to mini-kits, so they're pretty much unmissable. Free play is my favorite part of LEGO games, and this one was no different. Even though 30 levels is way more than I'm used to, the experience was amazing, and so were the collectibles, with the exception of 2 mini-kits. This first one required me to slide down this hill and into these gates, but sliding was pretty awkward to control and I would constantly miss, and the AI didn't do me any favors either. But the second one is probably the worst minikit I've ever gone for out of all the games I've played. In the same level, there's another slide with gates, but the problem with this one is that if you miss, you have to restart the entire level.
Oh, I do need 5, never mind, I'm an idiot.
A finicky slide while only having 1 attempt wasn't fun, and I failed it 5 times. But anyway, here's me collecting the last of everything and purchasing everything. Oh, 25 out of 25, let's go. Alright, that was the last hostage. I was not thinking about the hostages at all. Alright, as I load this up, I'm about to get my final true villain, or super villain I mean, and right here. There we go. Super villain on all the levels. Let's go. Alright, I'm about to get the final mini kit right now. I literally just did this level, but I accidentally skipped these. But yeah. But anyway, let's get this final mini kit right now. Just get to the sonar suit, or the sonic suit rather. And there's the 10th mini kit, and that should be all of them. Let's go. Now I'm about to get the final red brick, or power bricks as they call it in this game. This will be my final collectible. Guess I have to clean up all the paint. Yeah. This game has been a lot of fun. I definitely missed out on this as a kid. But I was 3 years old when this came out, so I wasn't playing video games or anything, and then I just never got this. Well, I'm glad I'm playing it now.
You know, I just thought about something. I'm still catching monkeys because I'm not. It's not like I was with other
the final red brick right there.
with other games. Sometimes I platinum them where I'm just sick of the game.
And boom. That's all the actual collecting out of the way.
Cause it's still fun to catch them, and I wish they would. I am starting to be like other people where I wish they would make another version of this again.
Yeah, invincibility. I could have gotten this so much sooner, but hey, it's alright. It doesn't really matter. It's not like you need invincibility. We're at 98.4%, so I just need to buy a few more things, and we should get to 100% after buying everything. So let me go buy invincibility. Yep, there we go. That's all the extras done. Let me check out these characters.
Come on, if I use... That's not gonna work.
Hush, okay. And then I think I need to get 100% for that guy. I have all the suit upgrades already. I bought those a little bit ago. I think there's still some data left. Wait, why are these locked? How do I get that? Alright, turns out I forgot about the bonus levels. I literally knew about them. I got so hyped to 100%.
Okay, so these will start club.
Let me go do this. Yeah, so there are 2 bonus levels that I also had to do. Wayne Manor and Arkham Asylum. Wayne Manor is the hero bonus level, and I didn't really like it. The goal is to reach 1 million studs without multipliers, and to do that, you need to collect 100 purple studs around the map. First, I needed to destroy these rocks and then the flowers that replaced them to get a single stud. Then I had to build this computer that sent me into a side-scroller.
What? Oh, yeah, you're more open, right?
And he had to destroy certain blocks that gave a stud.
Sometimes I feel like I could just walk past him and I don't realize it. Because I'm like, he's there, you have to fight him. Of course.
At this point, I was thinking, why do these bonus levels hate me? And I thought that because of another bug you'll see later on. After the side-scroller, you have another minigame where you have to push these bombs into at least 40 of these orange things. It was pretty boring to find all of them. At the end, I started to panic a little bit because I couldn't find the last stud, and I was worried that I just wasted another 20 minutes. But thankfully, I just missed one on the side-scroller. There it is.
Oh, maybe I'm lost, because I don't...
I was gonna be
Don't you have to fight them? I feel like this is just taking me to a different area that I've been to already.
I just needed to collect any stud around the place, and I
don't even need to fight him.
With a bomb. I got a little worried when it went through the wall, but it was fine. And then I had to play this Pac-Man-like game where the studs were the pellets.
I have to get to that clock room.
Oh, I'm gonna finish it right now. That bonus level was so much better than the other one. What? That one was actually kind of fun. I don't know why the other one wasn't. I don't know what they did with the other one.
Oh, it just takes me back around, huh? Yeah.
I'm at 100% now, baby. I thought I'd need all the
So what am I doing? What am I doing?
I don't even know where to get it from, so I'm glad it's
And then, hold on.
It took me 32.3 hours to 100% this game. A little more than I thought it would take, but, I mean, I was AFKing for a little bit of it, so that probably lowered the time a little bit. I'm really glad I decided not to skip over this game. I see why people like this game so much, and it makes me wish this game had a trophy list. Even though there were a few things I didn't like, none of that makes me want to put this game any lower than S tier.
Oh, the Spectre coin.
Let's move on to a game that actually has trophies. LEGO Batman 2 is widely regarded as one of the best LEGO games of all time, and I knew that going into this. This was the first game to have an open world and the first game to have voice acting, so this game was a huge innovation. Speaking of voice acting, let's talk about the story.
What room is that?
This story involves Lex Luthor,
you open
who
this?
all the first game's villains out of Arkham Asylum, but Joker ends up being the main villain along with Lex. Batman and Robin once again need to stop them, and they also encounter Superman, who wants to help them, but Batman constantly rejects the help. Eventually, he realizes that he shouldn't reject the help, and later, he gets the help of the Justice League to take down Lex and Joker once and for all. I think this is the best story of all the DC games. I really like the villains in this game, and I liked how Batman grew to accept help, and it's a cool lesson as well. The levels were fun to play, and I like that they kept the suit mechanics and gave them extra abilities, and just new suits in general. After every level, I got a
There
trophy
has
for
to be
completing
some.
it, so here they are. I also got 2 miscellaneous
Wait a
trophies
minute.
during this, the first being for performing a finisher. That's definitely a finisher. That has to be, right?
No, I remember doing this last
Combo
time.
Hero. And the other one for flying a Superman. It's a bird, it's a plane. I'm guessing that's just for flying a Superman? I also had to return to one of the levels to get my final superhero status. You can definitely see. Okay, I got superhero.
Yo, this camera's killing me.
Gotta get
This
trophy.
camera makes it.
Superhero. Let's go. Now that I was done with the story, my next goal is normally free play, but for some reason I didn't do that. But
There
I'll
we
still
go.
go over it now. Free play is the same as normal. You use any character and you have to collect mini kits and citizens
But that's
apparel,
not-
but not red bricks. These are in the open world. This game also has a new collectible called Gold Bricks.
Suspect.
You get
Oh,
these for
okay.
finishing
That's not
levels,
open.
getting all collectibles on levels, and finding them around Gotham. There are 250 of these in total, and I'll get a trophy for collecting all of them. While I was going through free play, I got a trophy for collecting 10.1 billion studs. There's no way I have to go through the entire level again, because I really missed that. Whatever, at least I got the stud trophy. The House of Luthor. After I collected all of the mini kits, I was able to ride all of the
What the
mini kit
f-
vehicles.
how?
Getting 10 mini kits in a level would give me access to one of these, and after I rode the 15th one, I got the trophy. Alright, is this it? Since I got in. Mini kit hero. Nice. Now let's talk about the open world. You get to traverse through Gotham City, and it's a pretty cool world. I like driving around the place, and you could also fly
So it
around
just
for
takes
the
me with
first time. You can tell it's the first time though, because it's pretty janky. In my opinion, they should have just left it the same as it
There
is in
has
the
to.
normal levels and
There
just
has
made
to
it
be
faster.
something with him.
They changed it a lot in the open world, and it just messed with the camera sometimes, and I can barely do small moves, but I can't judge it too harshly, even though I did when I was actually playing. How am I supposed to fly in if I'm literally moving the thing and this fool won't move? A lot of things I complain about in this game aren't really fair to bash, because I'm used to the newer games already having this stuff established. Anyway, enough of that, let's talk about what I needed to do here. My first 2 goals were to collect all of the red bricks and fight all of the bosses. The red bricks are
And it
simple,
opens
they
like it's a
require
special
small
door,
puzzle
so
or a certain character to
what am I
interact with
missing?
something, and then the brick pops out and you can buy it. After I collected all of them, I got a trophy. Okay, there we go. That should be our trophy.
Is when I hit this button.
Finally, bro. Talking about the bosses, around the map you'll see special
When I
markers
hit
showing
this
the
button.
character. If you go there, you get into a fight with
Oh,
them,
wait, is
which
it
will either
the-
just simply be a
is that
fight,
this
or
water
after
wire?
every heart, they'll spawn some enemies. After you defeat them, they surrender and you'll be able to buy them, and that's how you unlock every supervillain. I also got some extra trophies while fighting some of the villains, like defeating Zod as Superman, Kal-El's Last Son of Krypton, defeating Alexbot as Brainiac, Luthor. There it is, Inferior Machines. Accidentally testing a custom character. Test hero? What? And defeating Sinestro as Green Lantern.
Oh, okay, that's
Green
right.
Lantern's Lights. Nice.
I confused.
And of course,
I
after
just
defeating
thought
the
this
last
was for a
boss,
second
I
there. I
got
thought
the
this
trophy
is
for
just how
unlocking
you
every
get to
supervillain.
the
Chat?
that monkey
Supervillain.
back
After
there.
the bosses, there isn't really
But
much
now I
else
remember.
outside of that. I just have the gold bricks and Citizens in Peril left, and a few miscellaneous trophies. The Citizens in Peril weren't bad, and they gave me gold bricks as well. A lot of the gold bricks were fun,
Oh my God.
especially the amusement park bricks, but after a while, they started to duplicate them, and it started to get old. Some of the bricks also sucked because they required Batman and Robin suits. This wouldn't be an issue if I could just fly where I needed to go and then switch to their suits, but you have to find the suit and then go through the path to get to what you need to do. This felt like a chore, and I don't like that they did this, since the first game allowed you to switch to them whenever you wanted. As I went for these, I eventually reached 50% completion. You're gonna do anything special for my 100 plat? My first 10 out of
The
10.
entire time I've
Hey,
played
we
this,
have
I've only
50,
caught him
halfway
once.
through. Let's go.
He's one of my
Gold bricks
hardest
aren't
monkeys to
useless,
catch.
though, because around the map you can find these doors that you can build as long as you have enough bricks. When it's built,
Oh
a
my
character
God,
will
what the
walk
hell?
out and you can buy them, and one of these was the final character I needed for the Justice League.
Oh my God, I hit him.
Ooh, Justice League. Huh, I did not expect to get that trophy right now.
Oh.
Shortly after that, I also saved the last citizen in peril. There we go. Alright, should get the trophy. My hero. Nice. I also got 2 miscellaneous trophies for riding the Gotham City Metro, which is fast travel. Where is this gonna take me? Subway hero. Where on earth did this take me? And a weird one for climbing Wayne
There, I
Tower
got you
on
a second
gorilla
time.
and playing
Good.
as a girl. I literally had to rob a
Can
gorilla
go
and
about
just
my
climb up
life.
there. I feel like there's some reference that I don't get, so if any of y'all know what it is, if there is one, let me know. that should be the trophy. Gorilla Thriller. And eventually, I got my final goal.
Thriller in Manila in Hong Kong. Pimp 'em like
And
Bishop
boom,
Magic
that's the final
Don
gold
Juan.
brick on the open world. Now we need to do the
Look
bonus level.
in Manila.
Yeah, you heard that right. There's one more gold brick, which is in the bonus level.
Like
The
my
bonus
son
level
of
this
the
time is a
ass,
mini version of
swinging
Gotham
this thing
City,
like a
and it's my
ninja.
least favorite part of the game. You have to destroy every little thing in this place, and it was hard to tell what I even needed to destroy towards the end. But that's not the worst part. Remember that bug that happened in Wayne Manor and how I referenced another one? This is that bug. So I accidentally fell in the water, which would kill me, but for some reason, Batman got stuck in a spawn loop and there was nothing I could do. I tried switching characters, trying to move far away to get him to teleport.
Hey, wouldn't
and
it
I wanted to
be
try the
easier to go
subway,
through the other
but I
door,
needed
right?
Batman to access it. To be fair, this was avoidable had I not been as clumsy, but I was pissed about wasting an hour of my time. But I ran it back, this time with a guy so I wasn't running around aimlessly, and I was able to finish it. Oh, there we go. Finally! Wow, bro. Boy Gotham. Jeez. I did not really enjoy that. City Slicker. My final task before 100% was to unlock all of the characters. Since I had tons of studs and every gold brick, I didn't have to worry about this. Before I got the last character, I got a trophy for unlocking every female character. Supergirl. Girl power. And then I unlocked every character and got 100%. A policeman is the last one. That's the last character, okay. Team building. That's all the characters. Let's go. That's 100%. The end. Nice. And my final trophy was for playing a level in co-op. Alright, stud.
Now, this is an easy platinum for me now, after beating Jake twice, because Jake be shooting.
That should be the trophy.
But,
Dynamic duo
and Subliminal is too, except for it's fucking annoying, because there's no... There's only a stream, or a counter, I'm sorry.
At least it's done.
I don't know why I said that word. There's only a counter on the screen to tell you
with a completely wrong mindset. I went in thinking about the newer games,
what number you're at, or that you got them all. You don't know what number you're at when you're in the level, and it's annoying. Big annoying.
Game I played so far. Sure, there were things to get mad about, like the hour I wasted in the bonus level, but everything was made at a totally different time. This game was amazing for its time, and I wish I could play it for the first time again with a better mindset. I like LEGO Batman 1 a little bit more, but this game gets a close second in S tier. Now let's move on to the PS4 era with LEGO Batman 3 is supposed to be the big finale of the Batman trilogy, and was it worth it? We'll see later, but first, we gotta talk about the story. At the end of the second game, they teased that Brainiac would be the next villain, and that's what happened in this game. He wanted to get all the Lantern Corps' powers to shrink Earth and add it to his collection of planets. This big threat forced the heroes and villains to form an alliance to take him down. Halfway through, Brainiac is captured, but the heroes need to go to the Lantern planets to fix Earth and everyone, as Brainiac made them extra emotional. In the end, we had to fight a giant Superman, we took him and Brainiac down, and that ended the story. In my opinion, the story was kinda mid. Up until halfway it was cool, but once Brainiac got captured and we had to go to the Lantern planets, there were really short missions that kinda felt like filler, and I didn't enjoy the characters being so emotional, which I get is the point, but I still didn't like it. Also, Batman doesn't have as much of a focus in this game. He's in most missions, but they mostly focus on other characters rather than him. For a game that's called LEGO Batman 3, it kinda feels like LEGO DC the game, rather than LEGO Batman 3. The story isn't the worst thing ever, but they definitely could have done better. And of course, I got trophies after beating every level as well. I also got my first true hero status, which is just superhero under a different name. True hero. The levels were fun to play at least, which leads to free play. This game has the same collectibles as LEGO Batman 2, but they put the red bricks back into the levels, and instead of random citizens in peril, it's Adam West, who played Batman in the 1960s. Rest in peace to my man. Speaking of 1960s Batman,
That's right, we lost two Batmans so far that I can think of.
Different than the other bonus levels.
Because there's been a lot of cartoons and stuff, so I don't know who.
I thought this was a
I don't
cool
know.
level, and I definitely prefer
I know we
this
lost
to
Adam
being
West
an hour
and
in
Kevin
another Gotham.
Conroy.
And here's the bonus level trophy. After I finished free play, I got a trophy for transforming into Venom-powered Bane. Let me do it. Oh, there you go. No? Wait, what? Isn't that literally a trophy? Oh, there it is, Bane and Gain. Okay. And turning on all the red brick extras. Alright, let's turn all of them on. Under the red brick. With free play done, I now had to 100% all of the hub worlds. To access the hub world, I had to go to them on the map or through the moon base, which gave me a trophy for entering.
Oh, I can't even remember how the song goes.
There are
Take
10 hub
me
worlds
the
in total,
funky
7 of them
town.
being the Lantern Planets, and 3 being the Watchtower, Batcave, and Hall of Justice and Doom. There are 4 types of collectibles that I'd have to get on each world. Gold bricks, character tokens, Adam West Peril, and quests. Character tokens aren't anything special, they just give access to characters. Quests are actually new and are exactly how they sound. You can talk to characters around the map and they'll send you out to do whatever they need. I wasn't a big fan of these because a lot of the time they'd have me fetch something, but they don't mark what I'm looking for on a map or anything, so I had to fly around aimlessly to find what I was looking for. Sometimes the quests were interesting though, like what was said in this one.
Hey, whoa. Slow down, slow your roll. You gotta buy me dinner first before you get all on my grill like that.
What? 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 Or this one with this rude gorilla.
What's taking
I'm
so
definitely
long?
gonna finish it.
Find me that banana.
Let's jump up
The
there.
wrath of the banana cannon on you. Once it's finished, for which
Shut up,
I
moron.
need a banana. Please bring me a banana.
Shut up, bruh. Shut up. Don't be rude like that. Man, I'm gonna kill you again. You deserve that. You're trash.
Alright,
bro.
this one's annoying
Overall,
because
the
it's
hub world experience
freaking.
wasn't great, and I preferred the open worlds of LEGO Batman 2 and DC Supervillains. However, they did make some good changes to the core gameplay, like improving the flying, and a very simple but great change to the suits. All they did was put the suits on a wheel. I don't know why they couldn't do this in the previous game, but regardless, I'm glad they made this change. As I went through this boring grind, I was able to get some trophies as well. Some of the quests required me to use a custom
Piss me
character,
off.
which led to me getting a trophy for
Let
creating
me
one. Oh, here we go.
set this off.
Mirror, mirror. The
One
main
hit.
quests I had to do were from Green Loonturn, and after I finished his last one, I unlocked him, which allowed me to complete a race while using him. Loonturn Space Race. Let's go. When I unlocked the final hub world, I went back and visited the other planets for another trophy.
Oh my god, that's why it's
Mankind,
irritating because it's hard to get.
Mankind. Okay, let's go.
Oh
And
my
I got a
god.
few more miscellaneous trophies, like knocking out my buddy
How?
Knock. Knock knock. Destroying a hidden donut.
You motherfucker.
Destroying a hidden Riddler trophy. Finding a gang of jumping cows on the moon. Gliding continuously for 10 seconds. Line on time. And bouncing on objects 50 times, which sort of bugged out for me. This wasn't the fault of the game, but I had bounced 50 times already, which people in my
Circuit
chat
cuts.
noticed,
This is
and I realized my
fucking
PS5 was bugging out, and I had to restart it. But I did get the trophy. Towards
You
the end of the grind, I
motherfucker.
unlocked Adam West after saving him for the last time, and I got a trophy for playing as him. Let's get that trophy. Adam West. The Bright Knight. Shortly after that, I also found this.
Get off of me.
Oh, there it is.
I don't consent.
What I found was a hidden celebrity party, which was a cool little Easter egg. And finally, to 100% the game, I bought all of the vehicles and characters, which doesn't give me a trophy. And get this out of here. Boom.
You're so
Alright,
fucking annoying. I hate you.
100%. Let's go. You probably noticed that I didn't get a trophy for 100% in the game either. That's because
Stop.
I needed
Get
to
off
witness
of
the
me.
100% stud fountain for the trophy to pop. But we'll wait on that and the rest of the miscellaneous trophies to go over the DLC trophies. This is the first game in the DC series to include DLC, and there are 6 DLCs to go through. Every DLC has the same trophy list. A trophy for beating the level, one for beating it with
Why
the
does this
hero
Mark
status,
Monkey have a
one for
guardian?
getting all
I don't
medikits,
understand.
one for setting both characters as DLC characters, and a miscellaneous trophy. So I'm not going super in depth about these.
You son
I'm
of a
just gonna
bitch, I almost
summarize
had
the
him
story
too.
and show the miscellaneous trophies. The first DLC is Man of Steel. This is based on the Man of Steel movie, and I played as Jor-El, his robot Calyx, and his wife Lara. We were trying to send their son Kal-El
Don't
to
you
Earth
fucking
since
dare. Get away
Krypton
from
was
me.
in chaos. We
Don't
ended up
fucking
having to
touch
fight
me.
General Zod and his henchmen, and in the end, we were able to send Kal-El out. The characters I needed to use in free play were Superman from Man of Steel and Zod. I will find him. And the miscellaneous
Keep
trophy
your-
was
keep
to
your
find
hands
Crypto
off me.
in the level. There's Crypto. Does it need a specific Crypto?
Why are there
Crypto
so many
combo.
levels in this game?
The next DLC is
So
Batman's
it's-
75th anniversary. To celebrate Batman's anniversary, Joker and Harley Quinn decide to decorate his party. Simple as that. The miscellaneous trophy was for completing this dance puzzle as 1966 Batman. Boom, boom. Bat Dancer. And I needed to make Vampire Batman and Sinestro Corps Batman the free play characters. Here we go. Batman Gone Bad. The third DLC is the Dark Knight trilogy. I'll be honest, I've never watched the Dark Knight trilogy, but I still gotta talk about the level. This level takes place during the chase scene from the first movie. It was a pretty cool sequence, especially when I got to use the bazooka. After the chase, we needed to build a mini crane to get Joker out of the rubble. I do like the quotes they added from the movie. Even though I haven't watched it, I still recognize these quotes. The characters I needed this time were Bane and Scarecrow from the trilogy. Would you like to see my mask? And the miscellaneous trophy was for defeating Batman as the Nurse Joker. It's simple. Our fourth DLC is the Arrow DLC. This DLC takes place sometime during the Arrow show. I haven't watched this either. I played as Green Arrow and Slade Wilson, and we had to make our way through this island, ending with us taking down a ninja camp. Not much happened in this level, but this moment was funny.
Luckily, Slade was
I love how that's in there because that show is basically just. What am I doing right
This
now?
game, bro. The miscellaneous trophy
I think
here
it's
was
four
for
more
defeating
words.
20 enemies
Gosh.
on the island with a bow, which I did by using this area with infinitely spawning ninjas. Superior archery skills. Nice. The free play characters this time were Felicity Smoke and John Diggle. Team Arrow. The fifth DLC on the list is Bizarro. This one has me playing as Bizarro and his Bizarro League, who are trying to save their planet from Darkseid. The only objective we had was to save these civilians. The free play characters were Darkseid and Desaad.
Why would you go in the water? The water
The Omega Power.
makes it easier to catch you, you dumb monkey.
And the miscellaneous trophy was for playing as
There we go.
Darkseid on the Moon. Play as Darkseid on the Moon. And the final
It
DLC
still took me a
was the
second, but I
Squad.
got one.
The squad it's referring to is the Suicide Squad, and it takes place during the original movie, not the good one from 2021. This level has me playing as the squad who Amanda Waller tasked to take down some dude that escaped. That dude was Killer Moth, by the way. The final free play characters were Harley Quinn and Waller. There she is. Wardens of... I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Bell Rev. And the final miscellaneous trophy was for completing a race using Harley's motorcycle. And... Vroom vroom! That's all the DLC done. Now that the DLC is out of the way, let's rapid fire through the base game's miscellaneous trophies. Starting with playing as a Batman I don't know how to pronounce the name of. Playing as the Riddler in the Batcave's trophy room. Setting both characters as Batmite and Mr. M. Setting both characters as Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
I know exactly where I'm going to get my last one.
Setting both
Good.
characters as Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Transforming from Billy Batson into Shazam. Setting both characters as Ace and Crypto. And setting both characters as Green Lantern and
What's
Green
this?
Arrow. And with all of those trophies out of the way, all
Oh,
I
never
had to
mind.
do
I'll
was
just take
witness
you.
to 100% Stud Fountain. Right here. Let's go. That's all, folks. And... World's finest. Let's go. Oh, that's so many studs, bro. My in-game time says it took me 29 hours and 58 minutes to 100% this game, and my PlayStation says it took me 36 hours to 100% this game. This game had the potential to be the best LEGO Batman game, but with its messy story and mid-hub worlds, it just doesn't hit the mark. The DLC was enjoyable, and I'm glad it was just
This
little
tank
1-hour
should have been controlled
adventures
with
rather
one
than
stick
dragging
the
out,
entire
but
time.
as a whole,
Why
I
they-
put this game in C tier. Now let's move on to our final game.
Why they
and
decided
hopefully
to
it's
do
better than
two,
this
I'll never know or understand.
LEGO DC Supervillains was released 4
Like, I
years
get
after
it,
LEGO Batman 3
That was the
during
first.
newer
This game
era
was the
of
first
LEGO
time
games.
you
It
had
goes
dual
back to the
sticks on the
open world
console.
formula
Apparently,
like LEGO Batman 2, and we'll see what I think at the end.
doesn't make it less
Of
than a
course,
stupid
it's time to
idea.
go over the story. This game is a part of the LEGO Batman universe, but I'm not sure where this game fits in the timeline. Anyway, the game starts with the character being taken in by Commissioner Gordon. This character is my custom character, which I got a trophy for creating. in a cutscene. The custom character is able to unlock different powers throughout the game, which is really cool and it gives them a purpose. We ended up getting broken out by Mercy Graves and escaped with Lex Luthor, and we broke out many other villains as well. We also learned about the Crime Syndicate, or the Justice Syndicate as they call themselves at first, who are alternate versions of the Justice League from Earth 3, and they capture the Justice League and pose as heroes. So the villains decide to step up and take them down so that they can rule. Eventually, the Syndicate's true intentions are revealed, which are to obtain something called the anti-life equation for Darkseid. In the end, with the help of the Justice League, we used the equation to make Darkseid and his goons kind.
Oh.
In short, that's the story.
Made
In
them
my opinion,
thinking,
this is the second best story
and it
of the
won't
DC
let me
games. The way
the
I
rewind
think of
to
it is what
continue
Lego Batman
from-
3's story could have been. It tells the hero and villain team-up story better than
I'm
it,
mad
and
as
it's a
hell.
lot more organized than it is.
Pushing those buttons
I
too
really like how your
fast.
custom character is involved in the story, and I really like all the characters
That's not a hard
as
one
well.
to get,
And
so
of
I'm
course,
not gonna be
here are
too
the
mad at
trophies
myself.
for
But
beating
Jesus
every
Christ.
level. During the story, I reached a 10 times combo. Hit the jackpot! Nice! 10 times combo. After the story, there are 5 bonus levels to go through. Like the 1966 level, these are extra levels that focus on Darkseid's crew and are still better than Mini Gotham. I also completed one of the bonus levels without dying. Let's go! And of course, the next step is free play. Once again, same collectibles, but this time the citizens or Adam West's Imperil are replaced with graffiti. So during the levels, you can find these posters, and if you use someone like the Joker, you'll be able to spray it and take a selfie with your work. And during free play, I also maxed out my
that's
stud
way
bar in every
better.
level.
I need to start remembering to use that.
Prime does
That was
pay.
way easier.
Let's go. After collecting all 5 mini-kits in a level,
I
got
don't know why,
access
I
to
would
a
assume that wouldn't do
newspaper,
much
and when I got
damage,
all
but
of the mini-kits,
it
I went
totally
to the
did.
Daily Planet to view all of them. And last one. Read all about it. Before we end free play, I want to show this glitch. Wait, what? How did I... You know what? I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. That just saved me from having to do a bunch of other stuff, but I don't know how I got it. And with free play done, now I had to 100% the game. As I said earlier, this game thankfully goes back to the open world formula, which made things a lot better. Although it still took a while to clean everything up, it was still better than Lego Batman 3. I had to collect gold bricks and character tokens, do races, do challenges, which I'll explain later, fight bosses, and do quests, which are so much better in this game. Early on, I was honestly kinda dumb because I thought the quest still didn't mark anything, but I completely ignored the phone in the corner. This is the minimap, and whenever you do a quest that has you looking for stuff, there are little markers showing the locations for these. When I finally realized that this was the case, I enjoyed the quest so much more. Well, I mean, I didn't actually pay attention to the quest, but I wasn't getting annoyed by not being able to find stuff. There was one thing I did in the quest that was really stupid though. I had to shoot these targets with a bow, at least that's the way I thought I needed to do it, but here's me finally realizing what I actually had to do. I want you to play up. Dude. I'm such a fool, bro, look. I'm such a fool, bro. During another quest, this fool said something sus.
You sure are good at throwing meat. You done that before?
Why did he said you sure are good at
Whoa.
throwing meat. What? Why did he say that? I get that I was literally throwing meat at the alligators, but come on, bro. That sounded weird. This world that you're seeing is not the only world. I also had to explore Apocalypse. There isn't as much to do here as in the main world, but it made the grind unnecessarily longer. I have 2 big critiques of this game. The first is how the gold bricks work. Some of the gold bricks require you to complete quests first to access them. I only experienced this once, but I'm guessing this was happening in the background. I was trying to collect all the gold bricks first, but I couldn't find the last gold brick anywhere after searching for about an hour. It turns out that I needed to complete this random quest to get access to it. Wait, there's a gold brick here! There's a gold brick! It's right here! Why did that trigger a gold brick? I feel that you shouldn't
Where'd
have
the
to
monkey
get other
go?
collectibles to get what you actually want, but that's just me. My other critique is about the bugs. I can't speak for any of y'all's experiences, but I had multiple annoying bugs. like not being able to activate this node for
Oh,
whatever
it's the
reason.
second time.
Normally, I don't let
I gotta go
bugs
back to
define
the
my
first.
experience of a game, but that's for new stuff. This game is 6 years old, so they're never gonna fix these, so I might as well count these as part of the experience. But with all the critiquing out of the way, let's go over the trophies I got during this. The first one was for achieving the highest wanted level. Yes, this game has a wanted
I get
system,
it, though.
but it's nothing serious like GTA. You'll
That's
just get a
not
few
good.
cops that come after you, but they're not a big deal. Wait, most wanted? After that, I didn't get trophies for a while until I started completing stuff. The first of these completions is finishing all of the races. Oh, we're good. Fastest man alive. The next one was for finishing every quest. There you go. Helping Hand.
Where's the monkey at?
Complete all quests in the hub. Let's go. The third one was for vandalizing all the picture perfect posters, which is also a good segue to the challenges. So this game has 15 challenges that need to be completed.
Why is he
A lot
stuck?
behind
Why is he getting
riddles that
stuck
I
in
didn't
there?
feel like solving, so I just looked up guides for them, and they have you destroying things around the map or other miscellaneous tasks, and they also give gold bricks. The posters are a part of one of these challenges, where you have to vandalize 10 of them, the other 20 being in free play. And boom. Smile! And after completing my final challenge, I got the challenge trophy and my final gold brick. The same thing we did to the commissioner. Can you solve before we do? Complete all challenges in the hub, and do you like gold bricks, Batman? Collect all gold bricks. Let's go. With the open world done, I had some miscellaneous trophies to get before I went onto the DLC and finished the 100%. Once again, let's rapid fire through them, starting with setting both characters as Riddler and Two-Face in the Batcave, setting both characters as Owlman and Talon, taking a selfie with Chang Su, taking a selfie with Batman as Joker, changing my custom character's body piece 5 times, gliding for 60 seconds as Batman, making 5 people dance while using dance mode, and riding every ride at the amusement mile. Now that the miscellaneous trophies are out of the way, let's go over the DLC. This game also has 6 DLCs like LEGO Batman 3, and it even has the exact same trophy list as LEGO Batman 3, except obviously the actual DLCs are different. So once again, I'll go over the story and the miscellaneous trophies. The first DLC is the Aquaman movie. As the name suggests, this is based on the Aquaman movie. I played as Aquaman, and I had to fight his brother Orm. That's it, the entire level is the boss fight. The miscellaneous trophy was for sitting on this throne as Orm, True Air, and the free play characters were classic Aquaman and movie Aquaman. I hear you can talk to fish. The next DLC is part 2 of the Aquaman movie. This one is a bit more of an actual level compared to part 1, and after we got Atlan's Trident, we had to escape the depths of the sea and fight Orm again. We had to get some people to join us, and then I fought Orm, and that was it. I also used this level for one of the base game trophies I missed for grabbing an enemy and charging into 5 others with him. Battering ram, there we go. They replaced the character trophy with another miscellaneous trophy, so the first one was for defeating 10 Trench as Mira. Redheads, you gotta love them, easy. And the second one was for fighting Orm as King Shark. Oh, what could be greater than a King Shark? Okay, I thought I had to actually defeat him with him. The third DLC is Batman the Animated Series. This one is in a cel-shaded art style, which is a great detail considering it's the animated series, and Batman and Phantasm are working together to stop the Joker. We first had to take
Push
down
the fuck
Joker's
out of
robot,
this.
and after that, we fought the Joker.
Do
and that's
not
the
die
level.
with it this time. Please.
The miscellaneous trophy was for
What?
defeating this pachinko machine
No.
on the first try.
I'll just get a second one. I don't feel like trying to reglitch that.
There you go. So you figured it out. And the free play characters were Classic Joker and Animated Joker. And this guy.
Come on, get in the tank.
Costume's a bit theatrical. The fourth DLC is the Shazam movie. This level starts with Shazam being dropped from the sky by Dr.
What?
Sivana, and towards the ground they
What
flash
game is
lasers,
this?
but Shazam gets thrown into a mall, so he hides as Billy Batson, and he and his friend Freddy need to escape Sivana.
Okay, there you go.
In the
He
end,
fell out
Shazam
that
pulls
time.
Sivana in place while Freddy straps a jetpack onto a mannequin to get rid of him. The miscellaneous trophy is for transforming into Shazam in the free play version of the level. And the free play characters were Gluttony and Pride. And Pride.
Oh my god, it's so fucking annoying.
The second to last DLC is part 2 of the Shazam movie. It picks up part 1 where it left off, where Sivana took Freddy back to the foster home. Shazam powers up all of his friends to help him take down Sivana, and the level starts with Shazam
Should be that
fighting
long.
him. After
The
that,
second
he
one.
ran away and Shazam chased him while Pride and Company
Alright.
decided to mess with the civilians. So Shazam's friends dealt with these fools, and later Wrath as well, and to wrap it up, we took down Sivana. Once again, they replaced the free play characters with another miscellaneous trophy, so the first one was for fighting Sivana as Shazam the Wizard. That's not nice. I am the last of the Council of Wizards. And the second one was for riding a pig as Superman. Hey, come here. The Swine of Steel. Nice. The final DLC is the Young Justice animated series. This one has the Young Justice fighting multiple villains. A giant snake, the Brain, Black Beetle, Mala, and Black Manta. This was just a fun boss rush, and that's pretty much it. Again, no character trophy, so the first miscellaneous trophy was for defeating 10 ninjas as Aqualad. I think that was pretty ruthless. And the second one was for transforming from Tigris to Artemis. No more faking anyone's death. Now, I don't know the context of the death faking, but cool. Alright, it is time to platinum the game now, so let's start off by buying my final vehicles. Why don't I have that unlocked? Okay, found out I need to actually get 100%. I wanted to pop the platinum on 100%, but whatever, it's alright. So, to 100% it, I just need to buy Lobo. All together now, collect all characters. The main man to come in, purchase Lobo. Is that not 100%? I have 99.9. Oh wait, there's a chest right here. There we go, try not to scratch it, collect all vehicles, a little bit extra, achieve 100% completion, and here's the mischief. Let's go.
Oh my god.
That's
That was a
all
little
of the
too
LEGO
early.
DC games 100%. Let's freaking go. My in-game save says it took me 35 hours to 100% this game, and my PlayStation says it took me 40 hours to 100% this game. I don't know which one's right, but there you go. After finishing this game and looking back on it while editing, I was judging it too harshly before. At the beginning of my experience, I probably would have put this at B tier, but after realizing how many good changes they made from LEGO Batman 3 and just revisiting it in general, in my opinion, LEGO DC Supervillains is an A tier game. It loses the S tier spot due to the grind still taking a little too long and how annoying the bugs were, but this game is everything LEGO Batman 3 should have been. And that is every LEGO DC game 100%ed. This was long and I probably shouldn't have done 4 LEGO games in a row, but it was enjoyable overall. Let me know your opinions on the games, and I know I'm asking for a lot from a YouTube comment section, but please be respectful. There's no need to attack me or anyone else just because we share different opinions. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. If you haven't seen my other LEGO Platinums, there's a playlist on the end screen, and I will see you all in the next one. I need another break from LEGO games now.
Oh, I'm forgetting. It's so much. I do have to wait a long time for this to get to the right height. What is the hitbox on these?
It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. You have a complete victory. Come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. You have a complete victory. Come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. You have a complete victory. Come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. You have a complete victory. Come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no. You just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now. It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. If you'd done your job, known your place, we'd all be fine right now.
Mario, that's not. Sure. No, no, no. What be wrong with you? Or first.
Rank it up there amongst the true wastes of time Hollywood has ever foisted upon an unsuspecting public. By the 30-minute mark, I was praying for the sweet release of death. Whoever gave this the green light should be spanked. Hey, don't threaten me with a good time. Rotten Tomatoes, the movie review site that makes or breaks films based off their tomato meter. For the past couple of decades, the tomato meter has been a symbol for great to decent to terrible movies, setting the moviegoer's expectations for a film. And there are some movies out there that across the spectrum nobody likes. I am talking about the 0% movies. These are the types of movies when you're on your deathbed you go, wow, I really wish I didn't spend 2 hours watching that garbage. And today I'm going to be doing something that no one has ever done before. I'm gonna watch every 0% Rotten Tomatoes movie. Why am I doing this? Well, I want to watch Star Wars again and be like, you know, yeah, it's not great, but I've seen worse. Now, I am gonna set some ground rules here. Because of how the website works, there could be movies out there that are at 0%, but
Oh
like
my god,
only
okay.
4 people have
Let me stop being an idiot and do this right away.
movies that have been at least reviewed by 35 people, if not more. Which nowadays, I don't think I could find 35 people to agree on anything. Like, let's be honest, if we got 35 people
No, I need my
right
health.
now, at least one of them's gonna think that the world is flat. So if 35 people walked out of a theater and said, wow, that was one of the worst things I have ever seen, there was
Let me get this cookie.
no redeeming qualities to that movie, I feel like that's a statement of something that's a very bad. How many movies fit this criteria? 13. And if that's not a sign of what's to come, I don't know what is. So let's just Nicolas Cage movie. Is anyone surprised that he's on this list? No, but by Rotten Tomatoes measurements, this is the worst Nicolas Cage movie, Left Behind. The movie is a Christian apocalyptic thriller that's as thrilling as going on the Dumbo ride in Disneyland. Nicolas Cage plays a pilot who has to navigate a chaotic flight because a bunch of passengers just vanish because of the rapture, and then they find out this is affecting the entire world. And when the rapture happens too, all the passengers for some reason think that Nicolas Cage knows what's going on, and they try and bulldoze themselves into the cockpit.
I want to see this captain.
What do you expect the captain to know? He's just gonna be like, so you're telling me a bunch of people just disappeared and only left their clothes behind? There's only one explanation for this. On this plane, there are streakers. Left Behind is bad, but not in your typical Nicolas Cage way where he's overacting and like bouncing off the walls. He just looks very like whelmed this whole movie, like a stoner being like, damn, you seeing this? Stuff's crazy. They try to give him this cool line, but it just comes off really flat.
I'm scared. Hurt me.
I will be. As soon as I have time.
Yeah, I'm too busy trying to find these.
Oh my god.
speakers.
What the fuck? Excuse my language. Trying not to cuss on stream. I don't know why. Because I'm a grown man. And I haven't said this for kids, but like, I don't know.
Started the movie, who's also on Nick Cage's flight, and the daughter and the reporter, they get a little flirty.
Wacko. I like that word. Wacko. Can I buy you a coffee?
So you would imagine that this daughter's on the same flight, right? No. She spends the entire movie on land showing us how the world has just become crap. But don't worry, because after a 20-minute conversation with the daughter, this news reporter is head over heels for her.
I need you to try and find Chloe for me. I've been trying. The truth is, I haven't stopped thinking about her since I got on the plane.
You haven't stopped thinking about her. You had one conversation with this woman, and now I get the feeling that you're about to ask Nick Cage for his daughter's hand in marriage. There are Disney princesses that take their relationship slower than you, bro. Jordan Sparks, the winner from American Idol back in the day, is also in this movie, and my god, no pun intended, she's not a very good actress.
I can't believe he's doing this. She's my daughter.
Oh, boy.
Hey, don't you talk about Jordan Sparks. She sung Air, No Air. Don't you talk about her.
That escalated quickly.
I don't know what this is. How about I just shoot you in the face?
Why don't I just shoot you in the face? Oh, man. Woof. So the plane is running out of fuel and Nick Cage has to make an emergency landing. Cage and the reporter call the daughter to try and have her make a runway for the plane to land, but they can't seem to find the runway that she created. So what is she to do?
There's a bunch of heavy equipment blocking my way.
Honey, 9/10 is good enough, but I need a bright visual point of reference so I can see where the landing zone is.
Okay, I'm flashing my brights. Can you see that?
Are you kidding me? Oh, honey, I can't see your lights. Try putting on your high beams. Ah, there we go. So surprisingly, they land the plane and they use the best visual effects you'll ever see. So now that this plane has literally crashed, you'd expect the daughter to run to her dad, right? No! She runs to the news reporter that she's talked to for 20 minutes. Dude, go find your dad. Stop trying to get with your hinge match when the world is literally ending. Or, go hug your dad, then go and try and get some. The movie ends with everyone realizing that the end of days are now, and, they're pretty boned. And the filmmakers decided to end this movie with
Why is he so fast?
When I said everyone is boned, I didn't mean put on the Christian sexual music. I really wish they just let Nick Cage like go wild on this movie, but to be blunt, he's really not given anything to work with. The movie gets really redundant at times, and at the end they start focusing on side characters who are just really boring. Again, this movie is not good, but out of the 13 movies we're about to talk about, this actually ends up in the higher end of it all, which does not bode well for me. I wish I could tell you something better, but that would make me a liar. Speaking of wishes and liars, let's talk about the 2002 Pinocchio movie. So I have to be honest with you guys, I fucking hate this movie, and it can be pretty much boiled down to one reason. Pinocchio is a brat, and not in the Charlie XCX type of way, like a brat that you want to smack. And it's fine for me to say that, because he's a piece of wood. Pinocchio just does not shut the fuck up.
Pinocchio, please, please, Sophia, Papa, Papa's, I don't know what. Where's my Papa? There's Papa. Papa, a window, can we look out it? Please, Pinocchio, please be careful. Oh, look at that, it's amazing.
Give me Jar Jar Binks. Give me Chris Tucker. Anyone but fucking
Chris Tucker. Why are you talking shit about Chris Tucker? There'll be no Chris Tucker slander over here.
Undercut when you have this guy playing him. I'm sorry, this dude is 40 with a mortgage. If you saw him trick-or-treating in your neighborhood, you're calling the cops. The movie tries really hard to be whimsical, and at times it does work.
There we go.
But then there are times where it's just weird. Like the opening scene. Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna explain this. The opening scene is Pinocchio in his original log form, and the log wreaks havoc over this town.
What?
And the cops try to arrest the log.
Of course they would. Surprised they didn't try to shoot it.
How are you gonna do that? What are you gonna say to your boss?
In disguise, huh? You don't fool me.
Great deductive reasoning there. Yeah, you see that woman over there? I don't think that's a woman. I think that's a log. Yeah? You see, that's why I've won Cop of the Month for the last 6 months. Nothing ever stumps me.
Stop in the name of the law! I'm not sure that's gonna work, officer. Leave it to me. I'll get it. If he thinks he's getting away with this, he doesn't think at all. He's a law!
Did you really just get outrun by a log? Well, I guess it's time to put out those wanted posters. Speaking of criminals, I also do love this one scene where Pinocchio gets his hat stolen by a couple of school bullies.
Give it back! That's mine! Mine! Ah! Give it back! Take that, puppet! Help me! I think I'll die. You'll die? Eugenio!
The dude died? The guy really milked his death too. He like made a whole show out of it. There are no guillotines in this world, just people waiting for books to fall on them.
I'll die.
So there are some really stupid whimsical moments in this movie, but then there are some great whimsical moments, like this aerial shot.
Oh my god, why did it take me so long? There we go.
That's just an amazing shot. The music is perfect there. I liked it. My favorite shot of this whole movie is this. Okay, I don't say this to be facetious, but it's when these robbers are hanging Pinocchio. I'm gonna blur it out because of YouTube, even though technically, again, he's a puppet on the string. But I'm not gonna risk it. Not worth it. Not worth it. Just a really nice shot. And I also like the lighting. Set design and costumes are great. There definitely was a hefty budget spent here. Like they changed Monstro from being a giant whale that eats Pinocchio to a giant shark.
Pinocchio! You'll keep me safe forever!
Pinocchio, it's behind you.
Oh no! Barry!
Oh, can you let me turn the camera?
I'm sorry, that's just badass. I am also realizing my favorite parts of this movie are when Pinocchio is getting injured, and that might be a subconscious reason on why I like these moments so much. And with Pinocchio, I realize the lesson of the story is that he has to be bratty so he can learn morals, and then, you know, he has his own little character arc. The problem is Pinocchio doesn't learn from his mistakes in this movie. Like, Pinocchio is a public menace, and then Geppetto goes to jail for that?
You're not going anywhere. You're coming with us. You're gonna pay for all of this, or you'll be spending a very long night in the poorhouse. March!
Pinocchio disobeys the fairy godmother and doesn't go to school. Then he gets imprisoned as a dog. Don't ask. And then he gets freed by one of his friends. Pinocchio misses his own ceremony about him becoming a good boy to go to Pleasure Island, where he turns into a donkey. But then the fairy godmother just snaps her fingers, and now he's the 40-year-old puppet again.
My sweet fairy! You saved me! Oh, you came to my rescue! You saved me! Oh.
And then at the end, Pinocchio becomes a real boy, even though he's learned nothing. I have to admit, though, I do enjoy how they ended this movie.
And the puppet, where's it hiding? He's over there. Oh, how funny I was when I was a puppet. And how happy I am that I've finally become a real boy, Papa.
Hold on. Who decided to go with this? Dude.
Wait a minute. I thought when you made Pinocchio a real boy, he had the same body. It's just turned to flesh. I didn't.
Unwatchable. I hope you can understand how annoying he is based off the clips I've shown, because it does not get less annoying. This is honestly one of the worst movies I have ever watched, and you can believe me because my nose is not growing. It's not growing. It's the worst movie I've ever seen. Nope, nothing. On the same topic of boys being stuck as children, let's talk about Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. Now, this movie is notoriously difficult to find. Nobody is streaming it, and all the clips online look like it was filmed on a potato. Luckily for me, though, this was a movie I actually watched as a kid, and my parents did not throw away the DVD. Should I just put that right here? Yeah, I'll just put this right here. Look at that. Probably worth $1 billion at this point. If you have any Charizard Pokemon cards, like the first generation, I'll trade you that for this. Got it? Sounds like a win for you. The concept for this movie is when you're a baby, you're actually a genius, and as you get older, you just forget how to be a genius. So that was the first movie, and now in the second movie, they become superheroes. They really only become superheroes for like 2 minutes of this whole movie, so that's neat. When the babies are talking too, they like deep fake their mouths to match what's being said, and it looks like extremely uncanny valley.
What kind of, why you gotta make a black baby like that? Come on, don't do our black babies like that. What are you gonna do, put his hand on the sip? What kind of milk you drinking?
Sorry for the nightmare fuel, but now you understand my pain. In this world too, the babies have their own secret language that only they understand.
That may just be baby talk, but still, look at those babies and tell me they're not communicating.
Yeah, I'm sorry, just because the mom is technically right in this movie, if you said that in the real world, people would be looking at you pretty strange.
What are you guys babbling about? Oh, they're not babbling. They're talking. I just wish we could understand what they're talking about.
You know, it's like seeing two drunk people just speaking gibberish to one another and being like, I really wish I knew what they were saying. Maybe drunk people are secretly geniuses and only become stupid when they sober up. You know, I bet Einstein came up with MC squared during a St. Patrick's Day bender.
I just wish we could understand what they're talking about.
Yeah, they definitely don't make the mom look very smart in this movie, but I will be fair. All the adults in this movie are pretty head-scratchingly stupid.
What was that? It's a baby. He overheard everything we said. What's he gonna do? Call the FBI. Get him. He knows something.
You're gonna kidnap a baby because he might have heard your evil plan? a baby. Don't worry, the baby does not get kidnapped because this is when the Kahuna arrives. Who's the Kahuna? Well, he's basically the baby version of John Wick. You know, if like John Wick's enemies decided to hurt themselves.
Have a seat.
Oh. I feel like that woman just jumped into that desk. I don't know if she had that much momentum. So the Kahuna is a child that was born in the 40s, and his dad discovered the secret formula to eternal youth and super strength. The Kahuna accidentally drank this as a child, and now one of the side effects is that he is stuck as a 10-year-old for the rest of his life. So is this guy really a 60-year-old stuck in a child's body? Hey, you're overthinking Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. And just like any superhero, the Kahuna has a super villain, Bill Biscayne.
Find those brats, I want Kahuna!
So Biscayne's evil plan for this movie is pretty much just making Nickelodeon.
Just like getting the angles right. There we go.
And he wants to use this channel to like brainwash children so they become his servants or something. Finding Nickelodeon was just trying to brainwash me. I'm not gonna lie. I would still watch it. Yeah, Avatar The Last Airbender is that good. I do love this one scene where Biscayne threatens a baby.
You're Bill bad, 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 bad.
I may not understand your language, but I know what you're thinking. Stay out of my way, Grunt, or else.
Dude, there's no reason to threaten a baby. You don't have to worry about it. Trust me, there's enough diapers here for the both of you. You know, that's the reaction I would imagine happens when a Gen Zer is trying to take over a boomer's job.
I may not understand your language, but I know what you're thinking. Stay out of my way, Grunt, or else.
So the Kahuna and his friends find Biscayne's evil, like mind-controlling code in one of the programs that's going to be releasing on the channel, and they find this code in a frog's crotch.
I was talking about this. Looks like scrambled data. What is that? I think it's part of the puzzle.
Biscayne, you thought you could hide your secret code in the crotch of a frog? Come on, if the Kahuna wasn't gonna find it, the furries definitely would have. So for the climax of this movie, Biscayne and his men find the Kahuna's secret lair, and they're trying to get this DVD that has the mind-controlling code on it. And Biscayne gives the okay to his henchmen to beat up babies.
Charge! Take no prisoners! Now I'm excited!
Come on, get them, your victorious! Do some! Come on, stay up, babies! Get them, get them, get them!
The babies have superpowers at this point, but the bad guys don't know that. So like these guys were seriously ready to beat up a 3-year-old.
Nobody messes with my son.
What went wrong in this man's life to the point where he's seriously ready to beat up a baby? See guys, this is why you don't get a therapist through BetterHelp. But hold on now, because you're about to experience one of the biggest twists in cinema history.
You think I went to all this trouble just because Dad liked you best?
Dad?
What are you talking about? Gee, miss, your little band of merry typermen haven't figured it out yet.
Biscayne here is Ken, my brother.
I fucking love this. Scoot over, 6 Cents. Make some room for Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. Oh, but wait, it gets better. So the babies defeat Biscayne, but he goes into the area where everyone got their superpowers, and you're not ready to see what his superpower is. Oh my god, you guys did it. You did it. That. Oh. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Is this 60-year-old who's now stuck in a baby's body gonna have to go through puberty again? Guys, it's Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. You're overthinking it still.
Put me down! I can do it by myself! Put me down! Stop!
This has got to be the most amazing
really wasn't. This was a really fun movie, mostly because of the bonkers ass plot. I mean, a grown ass man turns into a baby. That's just such a sentence. It really embraces how dumb everything is and doesn't take things too seriously. Again, it's Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2. You know what you're getting yourself into. But one movie I had no idea what I was getting myself into, Stratton. So far with the movies that we have looked at, they've definitely not been good, but they've had things that have been memorable about them. Stratton is the worst type of movie where it left absolutely no impact on me. 1 year from now, I will have completely forgotten I even watched this movie, which is crazy because I remember times where I've been to like the DMV. I've forgotten every character's name, which is pretty bad because the main character's name is the title of the movie. The plot is just like a bad version of any Jason Bourne movie. It's all very cliched in the story and dialogue. There's a spy agency that needs to stop a bad guy from destroying the world. The opening scene, the mission goes wrong and a teammate dies. And then our main character goes through the dead member's locker where he finds a picture of the guy's wife and newborn baby. And now I'm sad. The villain is the most stereotypical bad guy out there. He wears aviator sunglasses, so you know he means business. Evil business. And the other characters are as colorful as a black and white movie. Tom Felton is in this. He plays Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, and shocker here, he plays the guy that double crosses the good guys.
Your handler Olaf is dead, and now you're my MI6 traitor.
No, what? At the climax of the movie, there's one agent who's on a double-decker bus with the bad guys, and the good agents can't find her, so what is she to do?
Stratton, look out for a camera flash.
Oh, a camera flash, of course. Yeah, why didn't Nicolas Cage's daughter think about that and left behind? Surprisingly, the camera flash stuff actually works, and it leads to one of the most casual grenade throws I have ever seen. For someone that was throwing underhanded, that was an extremely accurate throw. Yeah, sign this guy up for the MLB.
DK, Donkey Kong.
That makes any sense. And that's all I really have to say about this movie. You know, it's just a very cliched spy movie that, you know, was on a screen that my eyes looked at one point in my life, and yeah, I've already forgotten I watched
Say there
this.
can't be
But
more
now let
to
me
that
tell you
fight.
about a movie I will not
There's no
recommend,
way.
and for the bad reasons, The Last Days of American
That's
Crime.
good. How is it gonna be a bad movie? It's a good title.
The Last Days of American Crime has a very unique concept that is never fully realized. The idea is that the government has discovered a radio frequency that makes it impossible for anyone to knowingly commit crimes. Like if you start committing a crime, your body will physically not let you do that. So our main characters are a bunch of criminals that want to pull off one last heist before the government broadcasts the signal to everyone. Like I said, very unique idea, but when you start to think about it, it makes no sense. They have this whole subplot about these chips that can block the signal, but it never really gets brought up or ever really used, which only made me think, well, why don't criminals just get these chips and then continue to do crimes? Seems like the natural thing that would happen. Also, the characters talk about once they steal the money, they actually won't be able to spend the money because the signal also prevents any unlawful acts being done, which includes spending stolen money. So why are the characters doing this?
The moment the fucking signal hits, making it the last fucking crime in American history, that's legacy, my friend.
Okay. Seems like a very stupid thing to do if you ask me. The logic of this movie makes no sense, and it also feels like it was written by an edgy 14-year-old. They're like, yeah, you know, these characters, they're gonna swear because they just don't.
I'm safe
give a
scumming the hell out of this.
Also,
Hate this
they're gonna
section.
smoke because they just
Not as
don't
bad as going after Jake. Actually, it was so easy that last time I did it.
Sometimes everything is just bullshit. When you want a real job, let me know.
Just watch how our main character Graham meets his love interest.
Actually, it's not going that bad. It's not as hard as the original.
to-do list? Let's go check a to-do off my list.
So then they bang in the bathroom, and it's one of the most awkward sex scenes I have ever watched. But guys, did she get to check off that
Oh
item
my God.
on her to-do list?
Sure. Triggers.
Okay, ouch. You didn't have to be a dick
Did I
about
get that
it.
one?
And here's where our movie has our first plot twist, because you know that woman Shelby? Yeah, she's actually engaged.
Can I introduce you to my fiance, Miss Shelby Dupree?
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Free.
And you might be feeling bad for our guy Kevin here, but I'm gonna tell you right
Okay.
now, you don't need to feel bad for Kevin. This dude sucks. He's basically that guy who idolizes the Joker too much, and he's always trying to prove how cool he is.
Which leads me to word 3, which is bullshit! Bullshit. Oh, is this your guy? Yeah. Hi, guy. Okay, alright.
Shelby, I'm sorry, but I think you banged a loser well before meeting Graham. Like, look at Kevin's hideout. Why the dolls? Why? Did you put up the newspaper to block out the sun? How long did that take you? Kevin also has some daddy issues, mainly because his dad is a mob boss. And yeah, they do not get along.
In the past, you just don't.
He's just pissed off because I fucked his wife. Not my mother, his second wife.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that makes it better.
I was Victoria.
Don't know if you heard. I shot her.
Well, this is awkward.
Oh, you think?
You tried to fucking kill me!
What kind of sicko fucks his stepmother?
I introduced you to her!
Oh, well, that's the context we needed to hear. I get it now.
I introduced you to her!
So that was just objectively unhinged. Just like this other scene where our main character, Graham, is being interrogated by a bunch of bad guys, and the bad guys decide to give him a lap dance.
This is your last chance, Brick.
For what? My lap dance.
Yeah. I feel bitch. You just gotta be a little more,
Oh my fucking god. What do you say to that? So the movie ends with Kevin double-crossing everyone and trying to take the money for himself. Oh yeah, they get the money, I guess I should mention that. How could Kevin do this though? Because he's been such a stand-up guy throughout the entire movie. And the crazy thing is that Kevin is actually resistant to the frequency, because when he was in jail, he was a test patient for the signal. How did he start resisting the signal?
And finally, one day, I get clarity. And absolutely nothing meant anything.
So basically, Kevin just stopped caring, and that gave him the power to commit crimes when the signal was on. You know, I don't think the signal was the best thing for the government to invest in. The FBI ends up killing Kevin, but not before Kevin shoots Graham with a shotgun. He gets shot in the stomach and gets his ear obliterated, and Graham literally just walks it off. How does Graham do this? Well, he learned that absolutely nothing meant anything. So yeah, you get now why I think an edgy 14-year-old wrote this. Graham then drives a semi-truck to save Shelby, which leads to this super cool scene that's just so badass. was happy the guards gave her 5 seconds and didn't notice that semi-truck flying towards them. It was also really nice for the guards to let them make out after all this. The guards just wanted our man to get some, am I right? Yeah, go get interrogated, my man. So the movie ends with Graham dying of his gunshot wounds, but not before driving from Detroit to Canada. Shelby then takes the money and lives the rest of her life, I don't know, watching hockey and drinking maple syrup. Yeah, no, this movie deserves to be 0%. Kevin is extremely annoying and it makes it very hard to watch this movie. The plot makes no sense, the characters suck, and, you know, don't bang your stepmom even if you introduced her to your crime boss dad. And speaking of crime bosses, Gotti is a biopic about the life of John Gotti. He was a crime boss in New York. It's your typical mafia movie. I actually was aware of this film before I'd even started this video. This film was actually produced by MoviePass.
Was it?
If you don't know who they are, there's a reason for it. This movie was received so bad, especially on Rotten Tomatoes. That's why I'm talking about it now. MoviePass then berated the Gotti Rotten Tomatoes webpage with positive audience reviews. Like MoviePass was creating accounts to give this movie 5 stars so it would uptick the audience score. And MoviePass did this so they could make a whole marketing campaign being like, yeah, you see the critic scores? They just don't get this movie. Not like the real moviegoer that loves this movie. You see how much the audience loves this movie?
We've never been under this kind of scrutiny. You fight till you can't fight no more. Never back off, ever.
And I hate to pile on MoviePass, but yeah, this movie, not great. The movie opens up with John Gotti's ghost. Yes, John Gotti's ghost talking directly to the camera.
Let me tell you something. New York is the greatest fucking city in the world. My city. I was a kid in these streets. I started in a fucking gutter, and I made it to the top.
Yeah, you've seen John Gotti break the law. You've seen John Gotti break some legs, but now you're gonna see John Gotti break the 4th wall. Yep, that was the best joke in the video. It's only downhill from here. But like, come on, talking directly to the camera, that's just a really weird thing to do. Yeah, I told you it was only going downhill from here. The editing for this movie is also just not very good. It constantly jumps back and forth from different timelines to the point where we're not sure what year it is and what scene that we're watching right now. Like one scene, he's in jail, then he's not, but now he is back in jail, but now he's younger, but then the younger self is still in jail. Now we're back to the original point where he's old and in jail. And when I say this movie is your stereotypical mafia movie, I'm not joking. You could play bingo with the amount of cliched gangster stereotypes that are in this movie. Fights in a bar? Check. There's a rat that rats on the whole organization? Check.
Sammy the Bull became Sammy the Rat.
A scene where a bunch of the crew gets murdered who also have the most cliched gangster names? Check.
Gambino family member Eddie Lino was the first to go down. My close friend Bobby Borriello was the next, shot to death in front of his 8-year-old son. That's life. I understood that.
Yeah, Johnny Pastrami put the hit out on Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, and that pissed off the House of Mozzarella Sticks to the point where they took out the money laundering scheme of the Gabagooshes. Can't tell if that was offensive or not. I'm sure someone will let me know. It's just a really boring movie. Like, I don't understand why they decided to show John Gotti's life in the most confusing and uneventful way. I couldn't tell you anything that happened in this movie aside from the cliched mafia stuff. The movie ends with Gotti dying, and then his ghost tells us that he's one of a kind.
Listen to me. Listen to me good. You're never gonna see another guy like me if you live to be 5,000.
Okay, sure. Then we get an end credits song by Pitbull. Was Justin Bieber busy that weekend? You know, I bet John Gotti could stomach a lot of different crimes, but putting a Pitbull song at the end of a movie about him, That might even make his stomach turn. Which crimes in making my stomach turn leads us perfectly to our next movie, Adam Sandler's The Ridiculous Six. In 4K! Yeah, you ready for some Adam Sandler humor? And just like Nicolas Cage, is anyone surprised that Adam Sandler's on this list? No, it was just like, well, what movie is it gonna be? So The Ridiculous Six follows Adam Sandler, whose nickname is White Knife, and he's an orphan raised by Native Americans, so I guess the nickname is fine, I'm not really sure. And yeah, sitting on the toilet got a little too weird for me, so I'm here now. One day, Adam Sandler's biological dad comes to the village and they finally get to bond until the dad gets kidnapped by a gang of people that want some money that he stole from them. Adam Sandler then needs to find enough money to pay off the gang and save his dad's life. And along the way, Adam Sandler finds out that his dad has other sons with multiple other women, and they all decide to team up to save their dad. It stars a lot of Adam Sandler's friends, which is really just par for the course at this point with an Adam Sandler movie. The movie's really not that funny either. It's pretty much just a bunch of lazy sex jokes, minority jokes, and poop jokes. And don't worry, they're all equally terrible.
What? What? What are you so surprised about?
So surprised at all the fun we're having here with the car, the money, and the booze.
You know, I make that same face when I put my cologne on in the morning, especially when I'm home alone.
Get it? Because that happened in another movie that you know, so it's funny. They have a donkey whose superpower is that he can poop on command and spray it everywhere.
That means he likes you.
I was eating a chili bowl when this scene came on, and I would not finish it. Do you think having 3 nipples is funny? Because the movie thinks that's hilarious, and they make Taylor Lautner do this joke 3 different times.
So if you guys are my brothers, you must got 3 nipples too.
I only got 2.
Yeah, just got the 2.
Like, Tommy's good with knives. Little Pete's got a bonus nipple.
I'm his son. I love you so much, Dad. I have 3 nipples.
Yeah, it's always good to have a spare.
Hilarious. I feel bad for Taylor Lautner because he plays the dumbass, and all of his jokes are just, oh, look how stupid he is. And they also make him do the weirdest stuff.
Eat it. You know you like it. You know you like it.
Good God.
Good Pharaoh.
Oh, don't look at him weird like that, Adam Sandler. You wrote this movie. You made Taylor Lautner do all this weird stuff. So it turns out that the dad has been a bad guy this whole time and has been conning the brothers to get him money. Which, like, okay, sure. So the movie ends with Adam Sandler trapping his dad in a mine shaft and then walking off with an attractive woman. Which at least that's new, because I've never seen Adam Sandler walk off with an attractive woman at the end of his movies. I want to show you a montage of all the unfunny jokes, but if I did that, I would just be showing you the entire movie. The few compliments I can give this movie are the sets look nice. I like the locations they filmed at. They do some cool parkour stuff, but that's all the nice things I can say about this movie. And while this movie loves to make fart jokes, London Fields loves to smell their own farts.
But it wasn't love. With Nikolai, it was the other thing. Death.
And this also stars Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Ooh. They don't share a lot of screen time together, but it's still weird to see them flirting in this one scene together. Just yikes.
Ain't toying with him.
So the movie's about Amber Heard, who can see the future in her dreams, and one reoccurring dream she's having is on her 30th birthday, someone's gonna murder her. But in this dream, Amber Heard can't see who's murdering her. So she decides that she's gonna manipulate 2 other men so that they are in a love triangle, and that one of them will want to kill her. I don't know why.
Requesting orbital!
He sees this whole situation, believes in it, and then goes up to Amber Heard and she's like, hey, this would be a really cool idea for a book. Can I write about how someone's gonna murder you soon?
I've always wanted to write a murder novel, but I was never close enough to it. Would you let me do that? I think it could be my masterpiece.
Look at that face. Look at that face. That face says, "Duh fuck." That is the weirdest thing to ask me. And that's coming from the woman who's trying to orchestrate her own murder. There is one point in the movie where Billy Bob Thornton is like, hey, maybe you shouldn't try and get yourself killed.
What am I supposed to do? Try and stop it?
Exactly. That's what you should do. Stop it and live.
Everyone has their dreams, don't they?
You know, I have a lot of dreams that don't come true. I had a dream where I flew and fought Godzilla, and as of right now, only half of that dream has come true. If any of you guys know if Godzilla is real, please let me know, because I might need to add something to my to-do list. So the two men that Amber Heard is manipulating into this love triangle both really suck. They are both married and have kids, and both of them start having an affair. But specifically, this guy Keith is just a gross dude. Like, this dude gives a child a porn magazine and a cigarette to smoke.
Yeah, nice picture book. Kelly days. She's a vegetarian. Oh, you want some of it? Yeah, go on. That's it.
Honestly, is that legal? Because it feels like that's not legal. The other guy is literally just named Guy, and he's just some rich dude, but he's in my favorite scene of this movie. It's right before him and Amber Heard have sex.
Poisons and paralyzes.
Something I haven't told you.
I'm a virgin.
I'm a virgin.
Right. Okay, well, that's okay.
That was really dumb. So the first half of this movie is just really boring, but the second half, everything just goes off the rails. Billy Bob Thornton starts to hallucinate in really bad renders of Minecraft characters who start singing to him. We get this weird dance scene number with Keith, who literally starts singing in the rain. This is like not set up or anything, it just happens, and then it ends. But the weirdest scene has to be when Johnny Depp kidnaps Keith, and then Johnny Depp asks Keith if his dick is named Jesus.
Is his name Jesus? Tell me now. Is your cock's name Jesus?
Yeah, his name's Jesus. Give him 3 days and he'll rise again. So there's a lot of pretentious filmmaking here where they'll cut to things that don't really connect. Billy Bob Thornton views himself as God because he's a writer and he gets to decide where the story is gonna go in his head. Oh, and he also has a thing for Amber Heard.
Nicole often found herself imagining that she was going out with God. She had slept with him once, and once only.
He gets mad though when he finds out that she banged another writer who's his rival.
Another writer.
And she banged the rival when he was dressed up as the devil. Subtle. There are a lot of voiceovers with Billy Bob Thornton in this movie, and it's just him being a pretentious writer.
Guy always thought it was life he was looking for. But it must have been death. She's setting up the oldest conflict in the world. 2 men, 1 woman. Someone dies. Love is the big idea. It's thought police. It's knock on the door at 3 a.m. Love makes you bring on World War III for a piece of ass.
Oh my god, dude, shut up. So who do you think kills Amber Heard? Frickin' Billy Bob Thornton.
Always you.
He goes up to the other 2 men who want to kill Amber Heard at this point because she's ruined their lives, and And Billy Bob Thornton's just like, no, don't do it.
Just get out of the car, Guy.
And they listen. So he kills her, then takes her body back to his place where he prints out a copy of his new book, places it on Amber Heard's body, and then lies down next to her and dies. That was so dumb. This movie really gets high on its own supply, and I can't put my finger on it, but something just feels off. It might be the characters, it might be the plot, I don't know. I feel like they're trying to say something, but not realizing that they're not saying anything. It's not even a close call. This was not good. And speaking of calls, One Missed Call. One Missed Call is one of the worst reviewed movies we'll be covering here and has the most laughable concept I have ever heard. It's a supernatural horror film where people receive voicemails from their future selves as they're about to die. The voicemails have a time and date of when the death is gonna happen. They try to make listening to voice messages scary, but also follow voicemail protocol.
To listen to your messages, press 1. Voice call received Wednesday, June 14th, 12:02 p.m.
Oh my god, I'm so scared. I just need to press 1. Now I'm gonna listen to how I die. Oh my god, a book falls on my head. How is the murderer doing all this? Well, the murderer is a ghost. After the ghost murders someone, it will go through that person's contact list and then call their next victim. There's no real thought behind it. It will just call random people.
So what if her body is still inside and her spirit's there, moving through the phones, attacking people?
Okay, all right.
And I know what you're thinking. Well, why don't they just take out their phone batteries? Doesn't matter. Ghost is still gonna get you.
No power?
Oh my god, that is scary. So yeah, the idea is pretty stupid, the acting is terrible, and I'm here to tell you, this was my favorite movie. It's one of those movies where it's so bad, it's great. Like, guys, they perform an exorcism on a cell phone.
I command you in the name of God, in the names of all his heavenly angels, to be gone from this cell phone.
You can't tell me that's not hilarious. Do you want to see how the ghost chooses their next victim after murdering someone? A severed hand calls the next victim, and they tried to make it scary. How do you not love this? Oh, don't think haunted phones are scary? How about a haunted phone controlled by a demon baby? I rest my case. So now to get a bit more into the plot, the ghost has been killing our main character Beth's friends. I know, it's very sad. At one of her friends' funerals, everyone starts talking about the weird voicemails that have been going around, and the acting in this scene is just mwah, chef's kiss.
It's like dead people call you, but it's your own voice, and then you die too.
Shit, Taylor, you know what? Don't try to think, all right? It just makes you look ridiculous.
I heard it too.
That's it. Now I'm really creeped out.
It's shit, all right? It's total bullshit.
Oscar-worthy performance there, but dude, not appropriate attire for a funeral. That dude Brian is just in denial because he got a voicemail. Woo! And it said he's gonna die later today.
Voice call received Wednesday, June 14th, 12:02 p.m.
Damn it, I forgot. I swear if I didn't have my head screwed on it.
So he just heard his final words, and his death is supposedly gonna happen in the next 10 minutes. So what does Brian decide to do? Oh, just blindly walk into oncoming traffic.
Jeez, they get in your head, Beth. Hey, you're the psych lady, you know that. If you don't think about it, it can't hurt you.
Damn, okay. Lucky there. You know, as long as you don't say your final words, you should be fine.
Ryan! Your phone! You forgot your phone!
Damn it, I forgot. I swear if I didn't have my head screwed on.
Why? Why would you say that? You know if you say those words, you're gonna die. So why?
I swear if I didn't have my head screwed on.
So who is this ghost murderer? It's a little kid. Not that little. She's like 8. But you don't need to feel bad for her because she might be a Satanist. I'm not really sure. She cuts her sister multiple times with a knife, so I feel like she's at least dabbling in it. So then their mom comes in the room and sees everything that's going on, locks the evil sister in her room where she has an asthma attack and dies as she's trying to call someone. So that's why she's a ghost that haunts phones. Sure. How does the 8-year-old ghost murderer get defeated? Well, her ghost mom pops up and then sucks the daughter into another phone. Maybe it's like a genie lamp, but then the daughter immediately starts calling other people again, so I don't know. And that's where the movie ends. This was a very entertaining movie. I would say it's so bad it's good, or at the very least the best out of the worst movies we're gonna watch here. I liked this movie so much, I bought the DVD for $2. It was the best $2 I have ever spent. Honestly, I might get this framed. Oh, but do you want to know the worst $2 I ever spent? National Lampoon Gold Diggers. This movie is god awful, and it's going to be very hard for me to explain to you just how bad this movie is because it's a comedy that's not really funny, and all of the characters are aggressively unlikable. Like, let's start with our 2 guy main characters, Cal and Leonard. They open the movie just really down on their luck, and what do you think they're gonna do to try and turn things around? They steal a woman's purse, and you might be thinking, well, that's not very funny, and you would be right. But just you wait, because this movie has its own little twist on this whole situation. Oh man, the woman they're stealing from is missing an arm. How wacky. But it gets more funny because Cal tries to fight the one-armed woman, and it's funny because she still has one arm. Okay, but now these two are going to start becoming likable, right? It's not like they're going to do anything worse.
What would God tell a couple of entrepreneurs like you and me to do?
That's far enough, ladies.
Yeah, you see what I've gotten myself into here? Don't worry, because these two only become more unlikable throughout this movie, and to be honest, it's sort of an achievement in itself. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, Cal and Leonard are trying to get money really fast, so they marry these 2 older women, and yes, those are the same 2 older women that they just tried to rob earlier. They do this so when the older women die, they can inherit their money, and they get a little impatient, so they decide to speed things up by trying to murder them.
You have to kill them. Murder? It's murder. It's such an ugly word.
Again, how could you not root for these guys? But the women, they must be likable, right?
Now stick with the plan. We marry them, we insure them, and we kill them. You got that? Yes.
Okay, so everyone's just trying to murder everyone. Nice. You know, on paper, I could see this being funny, but just trust me, it's not. A lot of the jokes aren't set up very well and feel very contrived. Like, they have this one part where everyone is sleeping in the same bed, but they've already established that they're living in a mansion and everyone has their own room. But, you know, maybe the joke they're setting up here will be worth it. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think that joke sort of stunk. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. But don't worry, if you didn't think that joke was funny, there's a lot of other great stuff coming down the pipeline. Like the women have a family heirloom that is the first ever used condom.
This is the very first month condom.
It's so big.
Oh, you think that's big?
But if you didn't think that was like slap your knee funny, don't worry, because after they get married, they do weird sex things.
I've been waiting to do this all my life.
That's so funny because it's really weird to make someone into a sundae. Huh. 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 Since they're all trying to kill each other too, they accidentally kill people around them, which, again, hilarious. I especially love this one scene where this rattlesnake kills a guy. I mean, can you even blame the rattlesnake? He thought he saw a black mamba up there. So at night, when everyone thinks they are asleep, the two groups get together and try to shoot each other with shotguns. And the women do this blindfolded for reasons. You know, I'm just gonna skip to the end. The two groups decide to join forces to kill the man who's holding up the women's inheritance from coming down early, but luckily this guy dies before they can kill him.
He's dead.
So they all get the money and live happily ever after. Couldn't think of a better group that this could happen to. It's hard for me to describe how bad this movie is because I need to stress it is very, 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 very unfunny. It feels like one of those movies that was made to lose money, and it was the longest hour and a half of my life. I'm lost for words. And being lost for words is something Eddie Murphy knows way too much about in 1,000 Words. 1,000 Words might be surprising to you because it's really bad. I know, shocking. The plot of the movie is that Eddie Murphy is gifted a magical tree, and every time Eddie Murphy speaks a word, a leaf falls off that tree, which leaves Eddie Murphy about 1,000 words. Oh, that's the title of the movie. So what happens when all the leaves fall from the tree? Eddie Murphy dies.
I could die?
An uplifting story for the whole family. And to be clear, Eddie Murphy can't write things down to tell people what's going on. That all counts to his 1,000 words. Like, he can't even flip people off. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Eddie Murphy's character really did need to shut up, which I know the message of the movie is for him to figure out the importance of listening, but my god, before the tree showed up, it was like he was doing coke the whole time.
Do you ever stop to think about what people are thinking about when you're not in the room? What do people think when I'm not there? That's the thought that I want to know. What do people think when I'm not there? I know you think something when I'm there, but when I'm not there, what do you think? What are you thinking when I'm not in the room? That's the real thought. Or do you ever wonder who's online with you?
So when Eddie Murphy gets this curse, he starts to ration how much talking he does, which is the only smart thing he does in the entire movie. And man, do they think it's funny that Eddie Murphy cannot talk.
You don't know what it's like to be a writer. I hate myself. I hate myself. You get that? I hate myself.
There's a point where instead of talking, Eddie Murphy lets a blind man walk into oncoming traffic.
Will you tell me when it's safe to cross? Mm-hmm. It is. Thanks, fella.
Okay, yeah, Eddie Murphy should have used at least one word there instead of causing a massive accident where people definitely got hurt. But the blind guy is just blind, right? Like, he can still hear all the cars beeping at him. And what was he saying when he was running around? Why are we following Eddie Murphy? I want to know that guy's story. Now, Eddie Murphy is a very important book agent, and he's trying to land this very popular self-help book. But now that he can't speak, you would assume that Eddie Murphy's just gonna call in sick for the 3 days this movie takes place, right? Wrong.
Jack, tell Christian the whole story about Senjo. Tell him all great details. Go ahead. Écoutez, you're going to die.
Life is a journey.
Hold on, you're gonna speak for this BS, but when a blind guy's trying to cross the street, you're like, well, may the odds be in your favor. So Eddie pretty much is terrible at his job because he can't speak and he gets fired, which, yeah, that checks out. And you would think Eddie Murphy would use some words to explain to his wife what's happening, right? No. He tells his assistant what's going on.
Oh, when all the leaves fall off, you die.
So now the assistant is going to tell the wife what's happening, right? No. And because of this, the wife thinks that Eddie Murphy doesn't love her anymore, and she takes their kid and leaves him. Dude, Eddie Murphy, use some words here. Your wife is leaving you. At least call the assistant to tell him what's going on. Like, you got a ton of leaves still. I think your wife leaving you is an appropriate time to start using a handful of them, especially if you're going to use them at work. So the scene where Eddie Murphy's wife thinks he doesn't love her anymore, she's in dominatrix gear, and the one thing she wants Eddie Murphy to do is to talk dirty to her.
Here's how it's gonna work, baby. The more you say, the more I do. So tell me what you want. Come on, talk dirty to me, Jack.
Alright guys, who was this movie for? Because you would assume that it was just a family comedy, but this movie has dominatrix gear, middle fingers, and furry jokes.
Found my video camera with the furry tapes. You know, she's the one that always wanted to be the filthier animals, like the skunk and the naughty beaver. I tried to be the more dignified animals, like the wolf and the California black bear. And don't hurt me, I'm sorry. It's just
like if you brought your kid to this movie, you would have a lot of explaining to do on that car ride home. One of the issues with this movie is all the problems that Eddie Murphy faces feel extremely forced. Like, Eddie Murphy could easily get himself out of these situations, but like if he was smart in this movie, nothing would happen. My favorite scene in this whole movie though has to be when Eddie Murphy comes home drunk and his assistant is unreasonably slow to figure this out.
we've been thinking about it all wrong.
That's it.
Are you listening? Are you What'd you do to yourself? You smell like my dad.
Wait, you smell like my dad. Have you been eating Play-Doh? Aw, you've been eating the spaghetti Play-Doh, haven't you? Yeah, that was my dad's favorite meal. So now in this scene, Eddie Murphy has had enough, and he decides to unalive himself by talking, and the assistant doesn't realize what Eddie Murphy is doing.
I'm ending it. And I'm ending it.
Hell yeah, I'm down for you to go out like this.
Fall in love with a girl like you. You can't run and you can't hide.
So the assistant finally figures it out, and he ends up fighting Eddie Murphy to the point where he knocks him out. Then the assistant goes all Dexter and puts tape over Eddie Murphy's mouth. Yeah, this seems like the rational thing to do. At the end of the movie,
2.
Someone's gonna... Johnny Pastrana... pull off one last heist. So then they bang in the bathroom, and it's... annoying, and it makes it very hard to watch this movie. The plot makes no sense, the characters suck, about the life... okay, sure. Then we get an end credits song by Pitbull. Was Justin Bieber busy that weekend? You know, I bet John Gotti could stomach a lot of different crimes, but putting a Pitbull song at the end of a movie about him, that might even make his stomach turn. Which crimes and making my stomach turn leads us perfectly to our next movie, Adam Sandler's The Ridiculous Six.
Jake.
And Billy Bob Thornton's just like, no.
Mentioning that she was
Wow.
And
Some strange stuff has been going on.
singing to him.
Hardly remember what happened.
Anymore,
Jake?
this would be
Maybe you're
say
back
about
to normal again. What do you remember about Spectre?
at the end of his movies. I want to show you a montage of all the unfunny jokes, but if I did that, I would just be showing you the entire movie. The few compliments I can give this movie are the sets look nice. I like the locations they filmed at. They do some cool parkour stuff, but that's all the nice things I can say about this movie. And while this movie loves to make fart jokes, London Fields loves to smell their own farts.
But it wasn't love. With Nikolai, it was the other thing. Death.
And this also stars Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. They don't share a lot of screen time together, but it's still weird to see them flirting in this one scene together. Just yikes. So the movie's about Amber Heard, who can see the future in her dreams, and one reoccurring dream she's having is on her 30th birthday, someone's gonna murder her. But in this dream, Amber Heard can't see who's murdering her. So she decides that she's gonna manipulate two other men so that they are in a love triangle, and that one of them will want to kill her. I don't know why she's doing this, I'm just telling you what's going on. And Billy Bob Thornton plays a writer who has writer's block, and he sees this whole situation, believes in it, and then goes up to Amber Heard and is just like, hey, this would be a really cool idea for a book. Can I write about how someone's gonna murder you soon?
I've always wanted to write a murder novel, but I was never close enough to it. Would you let me do that? I think it could be a masterpiece.
Look at that face. Look at that face. That face says, "Duh, fuck." That is the weirdest thing to ask me. And that's coming from the woman who's trying to orchestrate her own murder. There is one point in the movie where Billy Bob Thornton is like, hey, maybe you shouldn't try and get yourself killed.
What am I supposed to do? Try and stop it?
Exactly. That's what you should do. Stop it and live.
Everyone has their dreams, don't they?
You know, I have a lot of dreams that don't come true. I had a dream where I flew and fought Godzilla, and as of right now, only half of that dream has come true. If any of you guys know if Godzilla is real, please let me know, because I might need to add something to my to-do list. So the two men that Amber Heard is manipulating into this love triangle both really suck. They are both married and have kids, and both of them start having an affair. But specifically, this guy Keith is just a gross dude. Like, this dude gives a child a porn magazine and a cigarette to smoke.
Yeah, nice picture book. Kelly days. She's a vegetarian. Oh, you want some? Yeah, go on. That's it.
Honestly, is that legal? Because it feels like that's not legal. The other guy is literally just named Guy, and he's just some rich dude, but he's in my favorite scene of this movie. It's right before him and Amber Heard have sex.
Poisons and paralyzes.
I haven't told you.
I'm a virgin.
I'm a virgin.
Oh, that was really dumb.
You're a virgin, Harry. I don't know where that came from. I apologize.
Everything just goes off the
No, that's kind of funny.
Bob Thornton
You're a
starts
virgin,
using
Harry.
really bad renders of Minecraft characters who start singing to him. We get this weird dance scene number with Keith, who literally starts singing in the rain.
Wow, I didn't know it did that.
This is like not not set up or anything. It just happens. And then it ends. But the weirdest scene has to be when Johnny Depp kidnaps Keith, and then Johnny Depp asks Keith if his dick is named Jesus.
Is his name Jesus? Tell me now. Is your code saying Jesus?
Yeah, his name's Jesus. Give him 3 days and he'll rise again. So there's a lot of pretentious filmmaking here where they'll cut to things that don't really connect. Billy Bob Thornton views himself as God because he's a writer and he gets to decide where the story's gonna go in his head. Oh, and he also has a thing for Amber Heard.
Nicole often found herself imagining that she was going out with God. She slept with him once, and once only.
He gets mad though when he finds out that she banged another writer. Who's his rival?
Another writer.
And she banged the rival when he was dressed up as the devil. Subtle. There are a lot of voiceovers with Billy Bob Thornton in this movie, and it's just him being a pretentious writer.
Guy always thought it was life he was looking for. But it must have been death. She's setting up the oldest conflict in the world. 2 men, 1 woman. Someone dies. Love is the big idea. It's thought police. It's knock on the door at 3 a.m. Love makes you bring on World War III for a piece of ass.
Oh my god, dude, shut up. So who do you think kills Amber Heard? Frickin' Billy Bob Thornton.
Always you.
He goes up to the other 2 men who want to kill Amber Heard at this point because she's ruined their lives, and and Billy Bob Thornton's just like, no, don't do it.
Just get out of the car, guy.
And they listen. So he kills her, then takes her body back to his place where he prints out a copy of his new book, places it on Amber Heard's body, and then lies down next to her and dies. That was so dumb. This movie really gets high on its own supply, and I can't put my finger on it, but something just feels off. It might be the characters, it might be the plot, I don't know. I feel like they're trying to say something, but not realizing that they're not saying anything. Not even a close call, this was not good. And speaking of calls, One Missed Call. One Missed Call is one of the worst reviewed movies we'll be covering here and has the most laughable concept I have ever heard. It's a supernatural horror film where people receive voicemails from their future selves as they're about to die. The voicemails have a time and date of when the death is going to happen. They try to make listening to voice messages scary, but also follow voicemail protocol.
Listen to your messages. Press 1. Voice call received Wednesday, June 14th, 12:02 p.m.
Oh my god, I'm so scared. I just need to press 1. And now I'm gonna listen to how I die. Oh my god, a book falls on my head. How is the murderer doing all this? Well, the murderer is a ghost. After the ghost murders someone, it will go through that person's contact list and then call their next victim. There's no real thought behind it. It will just call random people.
So what if her body is still inside and her spirit's there, moving through the phones, attacking people?
Okay, alright.
And I know what you're thinking. Well, why don't they just take out their phone batteries? Doesn't matter. Ghost is still gonna get you.
No power?
Oh my god, that is scary. So yeah, the idea is pretty stupid, the acting is terrible, and I'm here to tell you, this was my favorite movie. It's one of those movies where it's so bad, it's great. Like, guys, they perform an exorcism on a cell phone.
I command you. I command you in the name of God. In the names of all his heavenly angels.
Why can you? Oh my god.
From this cell phone.
You
I thought there was a door. Why isn't this a door?
You want to see how the ghost
This should be a door.
next victim after murdering someone?
That's not a door either.
A severed hand calls the next victim, and they tried to make it scary. How do you not love this? Oh, don't think haunted phones are scary? How about a haunted phone controlled by a demon baby? I rest my case. So now to get a bit more into the plot, the ghost has been killing our main character Beth's friends. I know, it's very sad. At one of her friends' funerals, everyone starts talking about the weird voicemails that have been going around, and the acting in this scene is just... mwah, chef's kiss.
I just did this and I already forgot. Oh, there's like a door over here and I forgot. Totally forgot about it. Because you can't, but you can barely see it. Yeah, that's right. I gotta do this.
That's it. Now I'm really creeped out.
It's shit, alright? It's total bullshit. Oscar-worthy performance there, but dude, not appropriate attire for a funeral. That dude Brian is just in denial because he got a voicemail. Woo-hoo. He said he's gonna die later today.
Voice call received Wednesday, June 14th, 12:02 p.m.
David, I forgot. I swear I didn't have my head screwed on it.
So he just heard his final words, and his death is supposedly gonna happen in the next 10 minutes. So what does Brian decide to do? Oh, just blindly walk into oncoming traffic.
The most overused death in the movies.
You know that. You don't think about it, it can't hurt you.
Oh, okay. Well, he hasn't died yet. They can still.
Lucky there. You know, as long as you don't say your final words, you should be fine.
Brian! Your phone! You forgot your phone!
Damn it, I forgot. I swear if I didn't have my head screwed on.
Why? Why would you say that? You know if you say those words, you're gonna die. So why?
I swear if I didn't have my head screwed on.
So who is this ghost murderer? It's a little kid. Not that little. It's like 8. But you don't need to feel bad for her because she might be a Satanist. I'm not really sure. She cuts her sister multiple times with a knife, so I feel like she's at least dabbling in it. So then their mom comes in the room and sees everything that's going on, locks the evil sister in her room where she has an asthma attack and dies as she's trying to call someone. So that's why she's a ghost that haunts phones. Sure, how does the 8-year-old ghost murderer get defeated? Well, her ghost mom pops up and then sucks the daughter into another phone.
Oh my god. Come on.
Maybe it's like a genie lamp, but then the daughter immediately starts calling other people again, so I don't know. And that's where the movie ends. This was a very entertaining movie. I would say it's so bad it's good, or at the very least the best out of the worst movies we're gonna watch here. I liked this movie so much.
No, you didn't.
Bought the DVD.
$2 though? Let it slide.
I have ever spent. Honestly, I might get this framed. Oh, but do you want to know the worst $2 I ever spent? National Lampoon Gold Diggers. This movie is god awful, and it's going to be very hard for me to explain to you just how bad this movie is, because it's a comedy that's not really funny, and all the characters are aggressively unlikable. Like, let's start with our two guy main
How did you get
characters,
me?
Hal and Leonard. They open the movie just really down on
Stop
their luck.
shooting me.
What do you think they're gonna do to try and turn things around? They
Stop
steal
shooting me, dude.
Leonard's purse, and you might be thinking, well, that's not very funny, and you would be right. But just you wait.
Stop
because this
shooting
movie has its own
me.
little twist on this whole
Go
situation.
away. Oh, then I hate this part.
Oh man, the woman they're stealing from is missing an arm. How wacky. But it gets more funny because Cal tries to fight the one-armed woman, and it's funny because she still has one arm. Okay, but now these two are gonna start becoming likable, right? It's not like they're gonna do anything worse.
Good God, tell a couple of entrepreneurs like you and me to do.
That's far enough, ladies.
Yeah, you see what I've gotten myself into here? Don't worry, because these two only become more unlikable throughout this movie, and to be honest, it's sort of an achievement in itself. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, Cal and Leonard are trying to get money really fast, so they marry these two older women, and yes, those are the same two older women that they just tried to rob earlier. They do this so when the older women die, they can inherit their money, and they get a little impatient, so they decide to speed things up by trying to murder them.
You have to kill them. Murder? It's murder. It's such an ugly word.
Again, how could you not read these guys? But the women, they must be likable, right?
Stick with the plan. We marry them, we insure them, and we kill them. You got that? Yes.
Okay, so everyone's just trying to murder everyone. Nice. You know, on paper, I could see this being funny, but just trust me, it's not. A lot of the jokes aren't set up very well and feel very contrived. Like, they have this one part where everyone is sleeping in the same bed, but they've already established that they're living in a mansion and everyone has their own room. But, you know, maybe the joke they're setting up here will be worth it. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I think that joke sort of stunk. Thank you. I'll be here all week. But don't worry, if you didn't think that joke was funny, there's a lot of other great stuff coming down the pipeline. Like the women have a family heirloom that is the first ever used condom.
This is the very first month condom.
So big.
Oh, you think that's big?
But if you didn't think that was like slap your knee funny, don't worry, because after they get married, they do weird sex things. That's so funny because it's really weird to make someone into a sundae. Huh. Since they're all trying to kill each other too, they accidentally kill people around them, which, again, hilarious. I especially love this one scene where this rattlesnake kills a guy. I mean, can you even blame the rattlesnake? He thought he saw a black mamba up there. So at night, when everyone thinks they're asleep, the two groups get together and try to shoot each other with shotguns. And the women do this blindfolded for reasons. You know, I'm just gonna skip to the end. The two groups decide to join forces to kill the man who's holding up the women's inheritance from coming down early. But luckily, this guy dies before they can kill him.
He's dead.
So they all get the money and live happily ever after. Couldn't think of a better group that this could happen to. It's hard for me to describe how bad this movie is because I need to stress it is very, 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 very unfunny. It feels like one of those movies that was made to lose money, and it was the longest hour and a half of my life. I'm lost for words. And being lost for words is something Eddie Murphy knows way too much about in 1,000 Words. 1,000 Words might be surprising to you because it's really bad. And shocking. The plot of the movie is that Eddie Murphy is gifted a magical tree, and every time Eddie Murphy speaks a word, a leaf falls off that tree, which leaves Eddie Murphy about 1,000 words. Oh, that's the title of the movie. So what happens when all the leaves fall from the tree? Eddie Murphy dies.
I can die!
An uplifting story for the whole family. And to be clear, Eddie Murphy can't write things down to tell people what's going on. That all counts to his 1,000 words. Like, he can't even flip people off. And I'm not gonna lie to you, Eddie Murphy's character really did need to shut up, which I know the message of the movie is for him to figure out the importance of listening, but my god, before the tree showed up, it was like he was doing coke the whole time.
Do you ever stop to think about what people are thinking about when you're not thinking when I'm not in the room? That's the real thing. Or do you ever wonder who's online with you?
So when Eddie Murphy gets this curse, he starts to ration how much talking he does, which is the only smart thing he does in the entire movie. And man, do they think it's funny that Eddie Murphy cannot talk.
I messed up, my bad.
You don't know what it's like to be a writer. I hate myself. I hate myself. You get that? I hate myself.
There's a point where instead of talking, Eddie Murphy lets a blind man walk into oncoming traffic.
Ah, of course. Sean Witherspoon. Oh, I'm sorry, I had to beat this guy off.
Okay, yeah, Eddie Murphy should have used at least one word there instead of causing a massive accident where people definitely got hurt, but the blind guy is just blind, right? Like, he can still hear all the cars beeping at him, and what was he saying when he was running around? Why are we following Eddie Murphy? I want to know that guy's story. Now, Eddie Murphy is a very important book agent. He's trying to land this very popular self-help book. But now that he can't speak, you would assume that Eddie Murphy's just going to call in sick for the 3 days this movie takes place, right? Wrong.
Jack, tell Christian the whole story about Sinjo. Tell him all the right details. Hey, Coupe, you're going to die.
Hold on, you're gonna speak for this BS, but when a blind guy's trying to cross the street, you're like, well, may the odds be in your favor. So Eddie pretty much is terrible at his job because he can't speak and he gets fired, which, yeah, that checks out. And you would think Eddie Murphy would use some words to explain to his wife what's happening, right? No, he tells his assistant what's going on.
Oh, when all the leaves fall off, you die.
So now the assistant is going to tell the wife what's happening, right? No. And because of this, the wife thinks that Eddie Murphy doesn't love her anymore, and she takes their kid and leaves him. Dude, Eddie Murphy, use some words here. Your wife is leaving you. At least call the assistant to tell him what's going on. Like, you got a ton of leaves still. I think your wife leaving you is an appropriate time to start using a handful of them, especially if you're going to use them at work. So the scene where Eddie Murphy's wife thinks he doesn't love her anymore, she's in dominatrix gear, and the one thing she wants Eddie Murphy to do is to talk dirty to her.
Here's how it's gonna work, baby. The more you say, the more I do. So tell me what you want. Come on, talk dirty to me, Jack.
Alright guys, who was this movie for? Because you would assume that it was just a family comedy, but this movie has dominatrix gear, middle fingers, and furry jokes.
Found my video camera with the furry tapes. You know, she's the one that always wanted to be the filthier animals, like the skunk and the naughty beaver. I tried to be the more dignified animals, like the wolf and the California black bear. And don't hurt me, I'm sorry. It's
Like, if you brought your kid to this movie, you would have a lot of explaining to do on that car ride home. One of the issues with this movie is all the problems that Eddie Murphy faces feel extremely forced. Like, Eddie Murphy could easily get himself out of these situations, but like, if he was smart in this movie, nothing would happen. My favorite scene in this whole movie, though, has to be when Eddie Murphy comes home drunk and his assistant is unreasonably slow to figure this out.
we've been thinking about it all wrong. Mr. McCall, are you listening? Are you okay? What'd you do to yourself? You smell like my dad.
Wait, you smell like my dad. Have you been eating Play-Doh? Aw, you've been eating the spaghetti Play-Doh, haven't you? Yeah, that's my dad's favorite meal. So now in this scene, Eddie Murphy has had enough, and he decides to unalive himself by talking, and the assistant doesn't realize what Eddie Murphy is doing.
Mindy. And I'm in the funky.
yeah, I'm down for you to go out like this. Frickin' epic, dude. Dude, how are you this dumb? So the assistant finally figures it out, and he ends up fighting Eddie Murphy to the point where he knocks him out. Then the assistant goes all Dexter and puts tape over Eddie Murphy's mouth. Yeah, this seems like the rational thing to do. At the end of the movie, Eddie Murphy forgives his dad for leaving him as a kid, and then Eddie Murphy dies. I'm just kidding. He survives, gets his family back, writes a whole book about this situation, and then buys a house for his wife without asking her about it.
Are you thinking about making an offer?
Oh, no, I can't.
Why not?
How are you?
Wow.
And that is always a decision you never involve your wife in. This movie, again, feels very forced and honestly isn't that funny. When I was watching this movie, I was thinking of a million different things that Eddie Murphy could do to get out of these situations without talking. Eddie Murphy just didn't bring the physical comedy that was needed to pull this role off. Like, I could imagine Jim Carrey making this work, but Eddie Murphy just couldn't. Have you guys ever tried to watch a Jim Carrey movie where he's trying to be dramatic? Because I have, and it's not the good one. In Dark Crimes, Jim Carrey plays a detective who's trying to figure out who murdered this one businessman. And lucky for Jim Carrey, one of the suspects literally wrote a manuscript about the murder.
Your novel. Same victim, same location, same means of death. Only a police officer or the killer could know those facts. The details of the murder were never published. So how do you know about that?
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Why? Why would you do that? How was Jim Carrey not able to arrest this man faster? The guy that wrote the manuscript is a writer, but I'm sort of like, all right, you can write anything, mate. You're supposed to be a creative guy. Did you really have to write about the murder that you may or may not have done? But here's the thing, Jim Carrey is a very weird guy in this movie. He's watching weird sex videos and just staring off into the distance. He's so weird. In the interrogation scene, I was surprised Jim Carrey didn't give the writer a lap dance. His wife and daughter don't talk to him, and we never get an explanation on why it's such a tense family dynamic. Maybe it's because Jim Carrey asks a prostitute who might have been a witness to this murder these types of questions in front of her daughter.
Did he frighten you? Threaten you?
I got it. I did it as a black man.
Sexually?
Did you see that? I got that as a black man. That's so poetic.
Dude, what are you doing? Jim Carrey's just like, well, how was I supposed to know that would be an inappropriate question? The girl is sitting at the adults table. There's a small Paw Patrol table right there if she's not ready to hear about the real world. So Jim Carrey gets more and more reckless with this case and does more questionable things like breaking into the prostitute woman's house. And then later on in the movie, out of nowhere, Jim Carrey has sex with the prostitute? Yeah, this is not built up or anything. It just happens, and I'm like, why? He didn't have to pay the prostitute for sex, so I'm sure Jim Carrey's wife is happy knowing they saved some money there. So eventually,
Only
the
3
murderer
more.
gets arrested
Perfect.
and even confesses to the crime. So after spending the entire movie trying to nail the writer for the murder, Jim Carrey realizes he forgot one little detail.
We've charged the wrong man.
What the? Hey!
Kozlov signed the confession.
Kozlov is mad.
Did that worry you before?
Kozlov was abroad when Sadowski was murdered.
He came back the day after. And you didn't check it?
He was a very compelling suspect.
Oh my fucking god. You didn't check to see if your main suspect was in the country before spending the entire movie trying to convict this man of murder? God. This is basic cop stuff. Like, literally the first thing you do. How did you fuck that up? Alright, so it turns out that the writer and the prostitute are an item, and when the writer was off on his little trip, the prostitute killed the man that was murdered. Don't worry though, it sounds like the guy that got killed was like a huge asshole.
The truth is, Sadowski was a sadist. It was my fault.
So the writer came back home and helped cover up the crime, and that's what he wrote about in his manuscript. You know, my original comment still stands. You're a writer, be a bit more creative with your books. Don't trauma dump here. So at the end of the movie, the prostitute tells Jim Carrey all of this, but not before poisoning him, so that really sucks for Jim Carrey, because he's dead. Even if he pulled an Eddie Murphy and forgave his dad for leaving him as a kid, I don't think Jim Carrey's coming back from this. This movie's actually one of the shortest.
Oh, because that's only 40 corners. I'm like, what am I doing back here?
Not a lot happens excluding the clips I just showed you, and it was just really boring. Jim Carrey looks very lost in this movie, and I feel like he just didn't get a lot of direction on what to do. Then the script goes bonkers, and yeah, it's just quite a mess. Alright, we're at that part of the video that I dreaded the most. We're approaching the final boss. We're about to talk about the worst reviewed movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow, it's not that bad.
Server. To give you some context, the second worst reviewed movie on this list was One Missed Call with 80 negative reviews. And Ballistic X vs. Server has 119 negative reviews. Holy shit. 119 people said there was nothing redeeming about this movie. That's like a whole church congregation hating one movie. And I can tell you that this movie is over the top, cliched, and just stupid, but I fucking love it. Oh yeah, scoot over there, baby geniuses. This was the twist you didn't see coming. Is this movie bad?
No.
Yeah, but so is every movie that's on this list. And I'm here to tell you, this movie doesn't deserve the hate. It deserves 1%.
See, he agrees. It's not that. It's just not as bad as some of the other movies we're talking about.
Kid whose dad is a bad guy named Gant, who's making a
At worst, this is like really mediocre.
X then comes in and tries to find the kid and ends up teaming up with Server to save the world from the deadly micro device. I think why I liked this movie so much is because it feels like a parody of spy movies. Like, it's so cliched in the best way possible. X is a retired FBI agent who's drinking alone at a bar, and then two guys come in and they're like, hey, come with us. And X is like, hey, I'm not the guy you're looking for.
I'm not the man you want.
And then the two other guys are like, come on, we're gonna have to do this the hard way.
We'll do it the hard way.
And then X, like, kicks their ass and shows that he's still got it. Oh, and of course he's smoking the whole time. So why is X so sad? Well, duh, his wife died.
You saw her die.
Oh, wait, but she's still alive, even after all these years.
Saw an explosion. We went to her funeral. You saw a closed casket.
And do you want to see how they filmed that flashback of the explosion? Yes, they filmed the wife screaming her husband's name in slow motion. I'm sorry, that is so dumb. It becomes cool. And that's a big thing that this movie has going for it. It's so dumb.
It's cool. We've lost contact with their tactical unit.
Then who's manning the assault vehicle?
So stupid. But kinda cool. Gant, the bad guy, tells one of his henchmen that failed him to unalive himself with a gun.
Put it against your head. Pull the trigger.
And the henchman thinks about it and then tries to shoot Gant, but uh-oh, it's a reverse gun. And then the bad guys
So
act
what?
like nothing happened.
What if he tried to? What if he actually tried to shoot himself? What would have happened?
So stupid.
God, that's
Server fights
stupid.
the main henchman
That's so
Gant,
stupid that I
and they
love
drop
it.
all their guns and decide to fight each other with knives and kung fu.
Ross.
Oh, it's right here, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Trying to figure out what this other one was.
did I mention they used to hook up?
Oh,
Looks like old times, huh?
almost fucked that up.
One big happy family, right, Seba?
Stupid, stupid, stupid. But I fucking love it. Oh, okay. The movie also has some really nice shots, like X meets his wife again at an aquarium.
I'm gonna get this monkey because he pisses me off.
Like, that's just very pleasant to look at. The movie also uses a lot of practical effects.
Wait a minute. I don't remember this part. Do I? Pierce? Can you just let me control the camera? You just do you. I got the camera. Wait, that's all there. I played these levels multiple times. I don't remember them at all. Like, what's this? Where am I at now? Okay, I'm back over there.
You know, I respect that. If this movie was made today, you know they would be using CGI, and probably not the good kind. So X's wife has been alive for all these years, but is now married to the bad guy Gantz, who X knows. It's never explained why X didn't know about this, or, you know, why there was even a fake murdering in the first place, but, you know, okay. Now, Gantz is upset, because he's been trying to make the best assassin in the world, but there's always one thing that gets in the way.
For years, he's been trying to build the perfect assassin, but he's never been able to look at the one thing that always got in his way. Human factor. In Gant's world, emotions are a liability.
Yeah, human emotion sucks. I wish I didn't have it. Then I could wear my Aaron Hernandez jersey again. So instead of investing into the best assassin in the world, because, you know, emotions, Gant decides to make nano devices that cause heart attacks. So to get one of these devices across the border, Gant decides to implant his son with one of them.
He stole it in Berlin. He used Michael to carry it across the border for him.
You used my son? You sick son of a bitch.
I love the little at the end. He's like, yeah, I'm a terrible person, but I know it. But like, if the device is so small, I don't think you need to implant a kid with it. You know, you could probably hide it in a thing of toothpaste as long as it's under 3 ounces. But now this is very personal for X, because apparently this kid is X's. What, you can't see the resemblance? I love how he looks just annoyed that he got shot. Like, oh dude, come on, this was my favorite sweater, and now it has a hole in it.
Is that the best you can do?
No, this is.
Wow, I have not seen such great acting since my 4th grade Shakespeare play. Let's give him his roses. So, how does this movie end?
So where's our mysterious killer?
She's not a killer.
Then what is she? A mother.
So stupid. No, that was just stupid. This was a very fun film to end on. It does not deserve the hate it gets. Give it 1%. Like, come on. And that's all I have to say about it, really. Like, I had a pretty good time. But now you probably want to know how I'd rank these movies, don't you? Alright, I'm going to be ranking these movies from best to worst, even though they are all bad in their own ways. Number 1, One Missed Call. I liked the movie so much, I bought the DVD. I enjoyed it. Number 2, Ballistic X vs. Server. It is very fun on just how stupid it all is. This movie definitely tries the hardest to be good. It just did not work out like that. I do find it funny that the 2 movies I liked the most were the 2 worst reviewed movies. No, just trust me, I have good taste. Number 3, Super Babies, Baby Geniuses 2.
Totally six coming. I want to be done with this shit. That's monkey over here.
Number 4, Left Behind. We have now left the tiers of movies where I have something nice to say about them, and now we have entered the movies where I just, I watched this thing. So this movie isn't offensively bad, it's just something I watched. Number 5, The Ridiculous Six. This was the funniest comedy I watched on this list, which really tells you the quality of movies I just watched here. Number 6, Stratton. I honestly am just happy I remembered to put this on the list. Number 7, 1,000 Words. This movie wasn't as bad as the last 5, and I'm just gonna list the last 5 off because I have nothing positive to say about them. Number 8, Gotti. Number 9, Dark Crimes. Number 10, London Fields. Number 11, Last Days of American Crime. Number 12, Pinocchio 2002. And the worst 0% Rotten Tomatoes movie, National Lampoon Gold Diggers. Oh man, I hate this movie. Even if you put it in rice, that's not gonna fix it. It deserves the 0%. Do not watch this movie. It is bad and not in the fun way. Alright, we are coming to the end of this video, and wow, what a journey it has been. I hope you